Sacktown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Laud with your Sacktown Sports headlines. Last night, Kansas City Chiefs came back from a 10-point deficit to beat the Eagles 38-35 to win the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes was named the Super Bowl MVP. He was 21 of 27, throwing for 182 yards, rushing for 44, and throwing 3 touchdowns. Mahomes becomes the first player ever since Kurt Warner to win the regular season MVP and Super Bowl MVP in the same season. He also became only the 3rd player ever to win 2 league MVPs and 2 Super Bowl MVPs, along with Tom Brady and Joe Montana. The Sacramento Kings split their weekend games with the Dallas Mavericks, losing Friday night 122-114, but they won in overtime on Saturday 133-128, where Luka Doncic returned from injury. The Kings are off tonight. They'll be back in action tomorrow when they take on the Suns. You can listen to the game right here on Sacktown Sports. And now it's time for Deuce and Mo.
live from Sacramento
It's Deuce and Mo.
on Sacktown Sports.
We are live! Oh, a happy Monday. Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan, and what an epic weekend it was. We saw new NFL champions crowned, right?
Right?
That's what Chris calls them, NFL champions.
Are
Yeah.
they not the NFL champions?
I already forgot about
The
that.
Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs. But how about what we witnessed on Saturday night at Golden One Center? De'Aaron Fox, takeover mode. Give me the ball. Get out of my way. Let me lead this squad to a victory, a classic overtime game. My goodness, we have so much to get to on today's show. Morgan Reagan, how are you?
I am so great. What an epic weekend.
I just said that.
No, I know. Why does it matter if I repeat that?
I just thought maybe you'd have another
Georgie,
descriptor.
Let me
You
look
wouldn't-
up another word for
Yeah,
epic.
I mean, great, exciting,
No.
enthralling,
Epic.
fun, entertaining. You have to look. You have to Google epic to find
Yeah.
synonyms.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't like any of these.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, you could go with, okay, what a phenomenal weekend.
Not a great start to a Monday.
No.
Not necessarily for us on the show, but
Oh,
you know, you see this big jug I have for people listening on the radio. This is a huge Yeti. What would you call this? This like a mini
a
Gatorade.
gas tank?
A mini Gatorade thing.
How much water holds in there?
I think a half gallon.
Okay.
Half gallon. And I filled it up. But when I went to go pull it out of the car this
Yeah.
morning, once I pulled up here at the station, I was like, "This is really light." I thought it was empty.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I had to swim. I think my pants got soaked. There was literally 7 inches of water in the
So
car.
Chris and I were out there,
So
and
Morgan's solution was, "Hey, there's water everywhere. What do you do?
Mm.
Can I get a towel, clothes?"
there was no towel.
She hands me a paper bag. Let's mop up this gallons of water
No.
with a paper bag.
No, because you were lucky enough that you already had a blanket back there for dogs, and a lot of that water went on the blanket. So then the little bit left, I was like, yo, there's nothing else out here. How about you wipe that up with this brown paper bag?
So Morgan sets her cup of coffee on the ground to help clean it up.
Chris is just watching all this, by the way. That's another note.
It's not my car.
And then Morgan moves and steps on her coffee. So there's water everywhere. She steps on her coffee. Happy Monday, everybody.
Epic.
Yeah. So why did it leak? Well, I didn't tighten the lid all the way and the lid was off. I'm like, where's the lid?
Deuce he's known for spilling drinks. He's known for doing things like this. And I'm not the only one that says this. Chris can confirm this as well. Am I right, Chris?
I've seen several times on the podcast
Thank
that
you.
you do spill things from time
Thank
to
you.
time.
He's just telling the truth. He's not trying to pick a side.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, am I offended because I spill every once in a while?
We're just scared of you sometimes.
I
We do
move-
this show in fear.
I move my hands a lot. Sometimes my hands go flying. Like I'll just hit things.
I know. And look,
I've hit Morgan in the face 7 times. She's come in with black eyes before.
he's like, what? The deal with this weekend?
Oh, yeah. So that was the start to the Monday. Appreciate everyone being here. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. YouTube.com/SacktownSports1140. When you're at the channel, when you're watching us live, make sure to interact with the chat, the poll question, and hit the thumbs up. All the thumbs up helps this channel grow so more and more people see it. What a weekend it was. What a weekend it was. What was your favorite thing this weekend?
I was just about to ask you that. And I would have to say, for it being Super Bowl weekend, my favorite thing about this weekend was the Kings-Mavs game and every emotion that went in. And there's so many different angles. Some of you might know Deuce and I were hosting NBC Sports California, the Kings pre-half and post-game together.
Everyone knows the ratings went through the roof with my appearance. Are you kidding? I think there was an email that's going out later. It's like ratings shot 750% for this game. In the pregame, in the post, they dropped it. No one watched the game. Pre and post, everyone watched.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. But, truly, obviously, you guys know how much fun Deuce and I have doing shows together. But then we have so much fun watching basketball together. Watching a team that you love play that high level of basketball in front of your face, and then you get to talk about it with your dream job. It's just insane. The emotions I was feeling, I could barely contain myself.
Yeah, I'm still high off of that.
Yeah.
I'm still running off what we witnessed Saturday night. Also, if you have something that was awesome over the weekend, what was your best part of the weekend? Was it the Kings game? Was it De'Aaron Fox? Was it that electricity you felt at Golden One Center or through your TV or radio? Or was it something at the Super Bowl? You can hit us up all day long at 1-800-920-1140, 339-1140. And also in the YouTube chat at youtube.com/SacktownSports1140. They're going to give Rihanna a little love for like that being the best part.
It's definitely like if I had a top three.
I've never enjoyed a halftime show like I did yesterday.
It was so beautiful and simple, and
I love that you keep calling it simple.
It was.
If you were to describe it, it was simple.
It was.
It's not saying that it was bad.
Thank
but
you.
That's what it was.
Simple is beautiful. Simple, like sometimes just an abstract painting with all of the same color is just a beautiful piece of work.
A pizza with just sauce and cheese could be the best pizza you've ever had.
I know. The simplicity of like dancers on top of multiple platforms.
Again,
that are
he's not
wired
understanding the vision.
Moving up and down. So very simple. When I think simple, I think about a stage and not a lot of movement.
No,
that was nothing simple about
Deuce,
that show.
I don't know if you know this, if you've seen other Super Bowl shows, but basically they have to add fake crowds of people, fireworks. They have to add so many more lights, all these different components just to make themselves look good.
I'm already being disgusted by you, people in the chat.
Wow.
You guys are getting to me already. And we are 7 minutes into this 3-hour excursion together.
Wow.
Scotty C wants us to know that, Saturday, it was just a game. It's only a game, friends. If you felt like it was just another game Saturday night at Golden One Center, you are not a sports fan. You're not a Kings fan. You are just a cash, because there was something different about that game. It felt like a big game going into it, and I felt it throughout. The crowd was insane. We'll talk more about this. But then Katie says, Rihanna was great, but her team of Squid Games extras were pretty lame. The dancing? Are you kidding me?
This is how they dance.
That's how they dance?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess am I the only one who thought this was one of the best halftime shows in modern history?
Even the Squid Game.
Do you miss Bruce Springsteen up there?
I'm with you on all of this, by the way. Okay, anyway, by the way, I am 100% with you. I thought this was one of the most beautiful halftime shows I had ever seen. Just this iconic human being, 8 billion feet up in the air, rubbing her pregnant belly and being like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant.
I love social media sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Because other times you have people criticizing it, but someone like posted a video and it was like Rihanna's baby in her belly, and it was like just getting moved around, bouncing up and down. It's like so true. I can't believe what she was able to do up there.
But that's the thing too. Like she was just doing light movements, and that's what allowed like Squid Games dancers around her to really just go all out. And like, I don't know if you guys know this, when a woman is pregnant, she's not dead. She can actually is very functional and can do everything that everyone else can pretty much do.
Okay. Well, what do you're not
No, I
impressed
say that-
by that? Like
No.
it feels like you're taking it away from her. Like,
Oh, no.
She's just pregnant.
I think sometimes too, like, no, I think it's amazing. But I also think sometimes there's people out there who I've had friends that have been pregnant, and they're like, everyone thinks that like you're just any movement you make, everyone's so worrisome about it. And that's why it's like, no, you're still a badass and can do what you need to do even when you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Ask Rihanna.
And you've been pregnant many times.
Just,
right?
you know.
Yeah. So you have many kids. So you can relate.
This is from all the experience of.
You have a dog. You can't relate to
Again,
this.
I have friends that tell me their experiences and go into details of all the things of why I would never, ever want to have children.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I may have to turn off the chat today. I just can't. People are trying to knock down my high. I don't know what I'm.
What's knocking down your high?
The high of Saturday will die quickly if we lose to the Durantless Phoenix Suns tomorrow.
What?
What are we putting that energy out? What's the point? What's the point? The Suns are. The Suns have won 7 of 10, and Durantless as if they played mini games with them, and they're all like Devin Booker is so good. He's back. Chris Paul, DeAndre, they still have a squad. They're adding Terrence Ross.
I was going to say they were Kevin Durant-less before the trade. So then what were you going to feel going into that game against Phoenix? Like, it's not like I'm looking at them just because they are underneath the Kings in the Western Conference standings that automatically means that it's a game you can just win and get by. No, that's not how it works.
Oh, man. We have so much to get to. I mean, Saturday night was so epic. Last night's Super Bowl was a lot of fun. It was crazy. You saw 2 quarterbacks playing how quarterbacks should play in 2023. Oh, mobile quarterbacks. You have to be able to pass all the time. These guys can do it all out there. Jalen Hurts in a loss put on a show. Patrick Mahomes. What an epic performance. And then Saturday night, Kings-Mavs, the Kings needing to bounce back. And did they ever bounce back? I mean, what we witnessed from De'Aaron Fox was an all-timer for him. I mean,
100%.
It's one of those games, and I've had time to process it. Initially, I felt this way, and I still do.
Yeah.
It was one of those De'Aaron Fox games you'll just remember when you look back at his career. Oh, remember that game against the Mavericks because of his ability to just take over a game. He had 10 points headed into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
He finished with 36. He absolutely destroyed the Mavericks in that game, and he was playing good defense out there.
I'm so glad that your instant reaction after the game, you stated how you felt about De'Aaron and his performance, and it being probably one of his like staple performances to be like, I am him. This is where I'm going from here. And sometimes it takes people a second to get there, and that's okay too. You know, processing things differently, how someone plays. But truly, when you look back at this night, don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget how De'Aaron Fox played in this one.
Yeah. So we set the table. It's time for you to hang out with us for the next couple of hours. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button in the YouTube chat and hit us up. What was the best thing you saw this weekend? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We're back in 60 seconds on the radio side. It's Deuce and Mo on Sacktown Sports. YouTube chat. B. Perry, Fox says, new baby, check. All-star, check. Mavs debut, spoiler, check. Yeah, dude, that's the other thing from that night, right? You saw the Luka. Oh, my goodness. To be fully transparent with you guys, this is one of those days when you're doing a show, you're like, I just want to talk about everything all at once, and it's really hard.
Yeah, don't. Just let's like move Super Bowl whenever the hell we feel like it and let's like focus on.
I know, we were starting the show.
I know. I was excited.
Yeah, but you're biased too.
Did you just tell me to shut up?
Yeah, because if it was your world, we would not talk Super Bowl at all today. And that's
not true.
The problem with you is like you're
that's
like
not true.
I don't want. I mean, the Kings 3 hours. It's like no, there are actually other things that have happened. We can talk about the Super Bowl.
There's lots of fun things about the Super Bowl to talk about. I mean, you just mentioned the mobile quarterbacks, and I'm excited to even talk about that on the field. But even. Well, actually, a lot of things on the field to talk about. The field being crappy.
Yeah.
Guys having to change their cleats.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes going down for a hot second, but didn't keep him down for long. How many cortisone shots did he take? What?
I want to address a couple things.
Yeah.
One, YouTube chat. We got 228 people here. Let's get the 100 thumbs up right now. We are 26 away. It just helps us grow. Harold says, not a good halftime show. I've seen so much better. The outfits look silly and were horrible.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo.
Sacktown Sports.
Happy Monday, Juice Mason, Morgan Reagan, basking in the aftermath of what went down yesterday and this weekend with the Kings coming up big against the Mavericks in an overtime thriller and what went down in the Super Bowl last night and everything that came with it. There's so many layers that we have to discuss, and we want to talk to you guys about it too. Morgan, let's go back to Saturday night for a second because De'Aaron Fox and the Kings needed a win in a bad way. And I walked into that night after what happened Friday was so disappointing. Like,
Sure.
you outscore them in 3 or 4 quarters, but it was that 45-point first quarter that killed you. And literally, like, you don't talk about often when you break down games, hey, you lost something in the first quarter. They literally lost that game in the first quarter. And that was frustrating.
Yeah, it was tough to, you know what stunk about that one, Deuce? When they lost it in the first quarter, the rest of the game, you're just watching going, oh, well, it already feels over, right? Like even when they tried getting back into it, it wasn't until the last couple of minutes there you saw them have that chance, but just a little too late. And it was disappointing because it was on the home floor. There was no Luka Doncic. Knowing that Luka was going to come back the next night, most likely was what worried me even more. But hey, that Mavericks team, let's talk about that for a second. On that Friday night,
Yeah.
the way they looked pace-wise, pushing the ball, moving the ball around, like they were hitting all their shots, but they were getting open shots because of the way that they were moving the basketball. It looked so different for their offense.
Yeah, but the Kings played much better defense down the stretch of that game, especially in the fourth quarter, held them to 21 points after a 45-point first quarter. So I mean, yeah, the pace was there, but the Kings defense was way better.
Again,
after that.
I'm not even talking about the Kings defense. I'm just talking about the identity of the Mavs on that Friday night without Luka Doncic on the court. The amount that they were passing the ball around, having ball movement, and then knocking down open shots from other members on their squad.
So the question is,
Yeah.
are the Mavericks better without Luka Doncic?
This is the best. I love that. No.
Saturday night,
Definitely lighter.
I was the chubby one. Saturday night too. You have Luka, Kyrie making their debut. The NBA world's all focused on that. How's that gonna look? What's that gonna be like? You had Sabonis being questionable headed into the game after taking that thigh shot.
Yeah.
On Friday, that looked like it was really hurt. The Kings lost Malik Monk. We still don't know like what his status is going to be. He hurt his ankle in that Friday night game. So God, man, the Kings coming off the heels of that. Luka's back. The bench was bad last night, and they just lost Monk. Oh, and Sabonis is questionable. This could get ugly. I thought the Kings came out, and it was just such a competitive start from the jump. The defense was rotating so much better. Guys are going to make shots, and this Dallas team is going to be dangerous with Luka and Kyrie, where you could play great defense, and it won't matter. The Kings had some moments, especially late in the game, where you're like, there's nothing you could have done better defensively.
Yeah.
We're talking about guys hitting tough shots. You're making them work late in the shot clock. It's hard. But the Kings responded. You know, when they lost that lead at the end of the first half, they go down 64-62. You're like, you were just up by 13.
God.
Like, what do you? And Luka's got 19 at the half. But that second half, man, they did such a better job on Luka. He was clearly gassed. And then what De'Aaron did was legendary. 26 points in the fourth quarter in overtime.
De'Aaron's a whole different angle we'll definitely have to get to. But going back to exactly what you're saying about their what?
You're just so funny. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, no. We don't laugh, say you're so funny in the middle of my sentence, and then you're not going to state it.
Morgan, I talk about De'Aaron Fox. We'll get to that later. Let me go back to what I want to talk about.
Chris,
Yes.
weigh in on this, please. Be the mediator.
I got to be completely honest with you guys.
You weren't listening.
Didn't get all of that because we've been talking about giveaways over here.
Giveaways. Morgan, we'll get back to your point in a second. I'm going to someone else. We can, since you went away from my point, we are going to the phones. Is that okay? 340, 192, all in 40. I just want to talk to Ted for a second. Ted, what's up, man?
Another bailout.
Yeah, thanks, Ted.
That's funny. That number one, that's the loudest I wasn't at the game, but that's the loudest and most amazing environment on the TV I've seen since they were at Arco in the playoff days 20 years ago. Just amazing. And you could tell it disrupted, some of those turnovers, like you said, they were playing such terrific D and Dallas kept hitting shot after shot. It was like, man, maybe we're just not going to be able to pull this out because they were hitting everything, no matter how great they were defending. But the turnovers, the Fox steal and dunk and
that moment, man. That was when it peaked. It peaked to me there. I'm sorry, I keep talking over you. We are
no.
No, it's fine.
It was absolutely amazing. I was freaking out the whole time, but when I really freaked out was 8 seconds left when we were coming down the court, and I was screaming timeout. I just wanted it to stop. I didn't want Fox to shoot a difficult shot at the last second just to not give them a shot. I wanted a great shot. And I know if you call it early, you got to go full court. And I know if you get it at half court, you give them a time to set their defense. But I just wanted a play. I didn't want just dribble around, shoot it up, and hope it goes in. That, and Fox, I mean, he was so amazing. And then he did it again in overtime. Like you said, he had 10 points and finished with 36. It's unreal. It's just so exciting to see them do that again. And I haven't screamed with that much fear and passion and excitement since when we were beating Utah and getting over the hump and playing the Lakers. It was crazy. Wow. It was absolutely crazy. And, my dog was, thinking something was wrong.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's like the whole family was the whole family was just like, what's going on? Because they, a couple of my kids are into it, but nobody's into it like I am. And so that's
cool.
what I wanted to share.
All right.
I have a lot more that I'd love to talk about in terms of bolstering our inside presence. I've been talking about it a while, but I'd love to see Neemias Queta come back from Stockton in some of these games where, people have been missing and we've gotten blown out, like those road games. Put him in there, get some fouls. He's 7 feet tall, 250 pounds.
That's the problem, though. Hey, Ted, that's the problem, though. It's picking up 3 fouls in 2 minutes. I like Queta. We've seen him up close in Stockton. Appreciate you checking in, but he's prone to foul trouble, and he's got to show more consistency even at the G League level to get an opportunity, especially for a team that is, fighting for playoff positioning at this point. Morgan, what do you think? Ted went over the whole game. We're actually up against it. Cal's and Rami coming up in 2 minutes.
Wow,
but
Deuce,
I'm just kidding. I love Ted. I love Ted. It was a joke.
Let Ted and I talk. Let us just say get our words in.
Okay, all I was going to ask you, though, was just that shot at the end of the game, end of fourth quarter, Kings get a stop. Fox comes up. There's no timeout. They don't call a timeout. Fox pulls up from 3 from our angle behind the basket.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was going in. In my head, I was like, this is going in. He missed it. I thought he should have taken a mid-range, get to the basket or something.
Well, this was the issue. I think it was Kyrie on him or Powell. They both ended up on him, right? So at the time when that double came at him, he was like, oh God, they're forcing me with 2 seconds left to pass it off. I'm still better off. I'm feeling it. I got the ball. I've got the motion. I'm still better off taking this shot from the top of the key. And that's exactly what he did. And yes, at the beginning, I just wish that the whole thing happened where they had that 8-9 seconds left and he just went straight downhill from the start, right? Trying to draw a foul or get into the paint, try and get to a spot, get a shot.
He made up for it, I think.
Oh, I think he did. We're nitpicking what we wanted.
14 of his 19 points in overtime.
Yeah.
Do you think he missed it on purpose because he knew he could get off in overtime?
Obviously,
yes,
yeah. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to chuck it up. I'll miss this on purpose. Let's go to overtime because it's all scripted.
Yeah. And
just like Mahomes' ankle thing, clearly scripted.
It's all, you guys, just a giant WWE kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh. There we go.
He comes down and goes, I miss this because these fans paid a lot of money. They're into it right now. Let's extend it out Let's take it to overtime, and I'll put on even more of a show.
We got to get Sabonis fouled out, so then it makes it even more dramatic.
Yeah, Sabonis.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to worry about passing.
Right.
Hey, Sabonis, just make sure you switch out on Luka and definitely reach with your hands.
Get
Let that
him.
be your sixth foul. I'm going to come up to you, and I'm going to say it's okay. The fans are going to notice it. We'll make sure the camera's on us in that moment.
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you I'm taking over, then I'm taking over.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
They played it out perfectly.
We have a lot more to get to on this show. It was such a fun performance. Morgan has so many thoughts on this game,
do.
and we will let her get them all
Thank you.
out. It's Deuce and Mo on Sacktown Sports. Also, YouTube chat. I'm sorry. I'm being criticized on the YouTube chat because
Good.
someone is saying, multiple people like, why are you leaving the price tag on the bottom of your Yeti? This is not a price tag. In fact,
see.
it is some weird QR code that I just haven't taken off.
Can you take it off even?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, you can. Okay.
It's not a price. I'm leaving the price tag on my Yeti on. Like, hey, dude, kind of like when you leave on the price on your hat or something. Like, what? Why would I leave the price on it?
That's what the cool kids are doing. Oh man, you got the price tag on your Yeti.
QR
So
code.
cool.
What? Why would there be a QR code anyway on it?
So then you scan it and get a.
Did you notice how many commercials had QR codes yesterday? on the
Yeah.
Super Bowl?
Well, that's the new thing, right?
Hey, who did any of the QR codes?
Not me.
I did. Can you guess which QR code I scanned from the Super Bowl last night?
Okay, wait.
Chat, you too. What?
Was it
of
a
all the
wait.
commercials that had QR codes, which one did I go take out my phone and do it?
Religious one?
No.
The CHP one?
Yes, I applied for a job for the corrections officer. I'm leaving.
Oh, that's
They had a QR code for that. I forgot about that one. Okay.
Tubi?
Someone saying the DraftKings one. No.
Katie.
The Scientology one. No,
Yes.
that was not that one.
Ah.
Also, we are one away from 100 thumbs up. We should be at 150 by now. Please hit the thumbs up.
We got it.
Next Level Chef had a QR. You're right. All of them had QR codes. No.
The dog food one. Oh my God. The farmer's market dog,
Nah,
whatever.
dude. I'm sorry. I hated that ad. In
Because
fact,
it made
I
you want
will.
to cry.
Hey, feed your dog well, or it's
Or
gonna
it will die.
It's gonna die.
And you
The
will.
beer one. No.
Mm.
This is one I couldn't, because I couldn't believe it. It was when Jeffrey Ross was roasting Mr. Peanut.
yeah.
What's his name? Mr. Peanut? Is that his
Yes.
name? Mr. Peanut. And
I don't even remember
it
this.
said for the full
full
roast. So I clicked on it. It's 12-minute roast on Mr. Peanut. It's 12 minutes. I'm like, I have to see it. I was fast forwarding. In fact, Mr. Peanut comes up to like start roasting everyone else. I'm like, they really did this. Like Jeffrey Ross, man, like you committed that much time to film this. I hope you got the bag for it. It's on YouTube.
I didn't even see it. I didn't even see that one. There weren't that many good commercials.
And also, how many people were complaining about the Tubi one where it was Kevin Burkhardt, the announcers, and Greg Olson, and
the fake out.
and I'm like, it
I
was
didn't-
clearly not their shot. Like
was-
you got faked out
Thank
by
you.
that. You were old if you got faked out by that.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed. Oh, the Amazon one.
Victor, the Amazon
Yes.
dog one was garbage. Like I was mad. I was like, wait, they're
That
not,
took a turn.
wow, they're not spending any time with this dog at all. And also, the message at the end still wasn't great.
No, it's like, oh, okay, we're just gonna add another dog.
Yeah, we can't take care of
can't
one
take care of
dog.
one.
Let's get another. Let's
and
get,
make them both depressed.
also, let's get a puppy.
Yeah.
Let's get a puppy.
It looked like a rescue terrier though. So
And they got a crate to go pick up that dog. Yeah, they needed that giant crate for that size dog too.
yeah, that was oh my God. My heart went in so many different directions. The flag football one.
Yeah,
Someone just said, I like the flag football one.
that was good.
Mhm.
That was really good.
Flag football one.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
flag football's fun.
The NFL just tries so hard.
That's the thing about
That's
it.
why
You know
I'm
what
like,
it was? I think if it had just been like a flag football one, it'd been, oh, that's cool. But the NFL's behind it, and you're like, oh,
Dude.
they're pushing like safety
Man,
and women and
The
football.
lead up to the game,
Thank you.
I never realized like this was like where they went completely overboard.
Am I in a
Yeah.
history class right now? What and why are you singing to me? Please stop. Oh, but they're so diverse. This is the NFL. Oh my God.
The flag football one was good. I'm trying to think of what other ones that I even, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about this later on
Yeah.
too. Like, it got to, I get it. We have to use old celebrities and tie in with their movies. Like Zoolander, Clueless, like Grease.
What
I'm
about
like,
a
come
new, the
on.
Grease one? No Greaselander, because that was actually cute. We haven't seen John Travolta do that.
Was he in two of them?
Wait,
He was in that one in the Scientology. Where was he in the Scientology
I
one?
didn't see the Scientology.
Okay.
such a no. And I don't. Is he a Scientologist?
The Dodge, Brad. You did not laugh at the lame Dodge Ram one, the electric one where it's like.
Oh
Will Ferrell.
God, no, the Dodge Ram one.
I didn't see the Will Ferrell one.
Yeah, it's okay.
Which one was that?
It was like a combination electric truck / Netflix.
No. Wow. One of the better commercials.
All right, stand by. Update.
Okay.
Sacktown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sacktown Sports headlines. Last night, the Kansas City Chiefs came back from a 10-point deficit to beat the Eagles 38-35. Patrick Mahomes is named the Super Bowl MVP. He was 21 of 27, throwing for 182 yards, rushing for 44, and throwing 3 touchdowns. Mahomes becomes the first player since Kurt Warner to win the regular season MVP and Super Bowl MVP. He also became only the 3rd player ever to win 2 league MVPs and 2 Super Bowl MVPs, along with Tom Brady and Joe Montana. Sacramento Kings split their weekend games with the Dallas Mavericks, losing Friday night 122-114, but they won in overtime Saturday 133-128, where Luka Doncic returned from injury. The Kings are off tonight. They'll be back in action in Phoenix tomorrow when they take on the Suns. You can listen to the game right here on Sacktown Sports. It's 11:30. Time to check out Coastside Medical Clinic, who's dedicated to providing breakthrough remedies for men. And now more of Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo on Sacktown Sports.
111-110. Kings down 1. Pressure against Luka on a double team blitz. Here's a steal by Fox. A breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand. Kings fans elated. Sacramento on top. 112-111.
That was such a magical moment of the game. Fox gave the Kings the lead. Amazing steal. He jammed that so hard. The ball goes flying, and the crowd erupted. It was so cool to see the other angles from that replay too, from that game, because the fans are standing up because they see him about to steal the ball. Then he steals it and then dunks it. It was probably the loudest I think I've heard that building.
The way he read that passing lane, because that blitz was thrown on Luka, it was like Luka didn't respect his speed and that he was going to get there in time to get that ball, steal it, and then throw it down on the other end. Just incredible.
I want to hear this highlight. I didn't hear a lot of G-Man because we were doing on the TV side. Here's this from the second quarter when Fox sprinted past the entire Mavs defense.
Feeds a pass that's stolen by De'Aaron Fox. Fox blasts his way up the floor to the rim for a 2-hand flush, and Kings fans dance out of their seats. Timeout taken by Dallas.
Man, so much fun.
G-Man's having a good time.
Oh, yes, he is. He seems so happy. So happy.
Just imagine every year you're just calling games for like 28 wins, 30 wins, trying to manufacture some excitement.
Literally
Decades. This is like, he doesn't know what to do with himself.
No, it's like he got to call so many exciting moments for other teams against the Sacramento Kings. Epic quarters like the Klay Thompson 37-point quarter, like one of the most magical moments he's called. And that's where you go, you want him to have those Kings moments in this part of his career, and he deserves a season like this.
Also, I don't know if you know this, he called LeBron James' first game in the NBA.
Breaking news. He called Kevin Garnett's first game in the NBA. Yeah.
For real?
Kevin Garnett's first game in the NBA was in Sacramento.
No, I actually didn't know that.
No, that's true.
Wow.
A lot of people, everyone talks about LeBron. KG's first game was in Sacramento.
That's so cool.
Also should be noted.
Oh.
G-Man approaching 3,000 games.
No.
Yeah. Later this month, 3,000 games, which will be, I think it lands when the Kings are in Oklahoma City. He's called 3,000 Kings games.
And when is it
and they've won like 300 of those. Like, that's what's wild about it.
But for
You're
real,
saying that as a joke, but
yeah, but I know.
Wrong.
I'm like, seriously though, how many wins in those 3,000 games? I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, he's only seen 8 winning seasons. They're approaching the 9th winning season since he has started calling games.
I don't understand how he's okay.
Yeah.
Like that, and all the times that he has spent calling losing bad basketball. Mike, I mean, at one point in a game, I feel like the entire crowd in a big game just needs to turn to him and it's, you deserve this. You like that?
We got something in store for him when they return home.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm sure he's listening going, oh, cool. I can't wait for it.
Oh.
It's going to be a huge letdown, but
No,
I mean, you got to honor those moments. He's been doing it so long, and it's cool that he's approaching 3,000 games. That's a big time deal.
Oh,
De'Aaron Fox, Morgan Reagan.
oh, hello.
It's so hard to put in words what we saw on Saturday night, what he did. And it's thinking about his journey. He was 19 when he got drafted here, and seeing how much he's matured on and off the court.
Yeah.
But it's wild when you start seeing someone get so comfortable with who they are as a person, and talking about him, what he's done on the court. He said earlier this year he thinks he can get any shot he wants. And I'm sorry, you're watching that game, fourth quarter, overtime. Everybody in the gym knows what this guy wants to do. Jason Kidd, his coaching staff, the players, they know what Fox is capable of.
Mm-hmm.
They know he likes the midi. He has been elite in the mid-range this year. The stats back it up. And he still got to his spots. He got to him and he knocked down shots.
When you get to a level where you're still capable of playing your game, because you do it at such an elite level that it almost becomes unstoppable, you're just in a different tier of players, right? And now I know people would get worried just like putting him up there right away because it's like, you have to win something first. I get it. We got to see a postseason with him along those lines. If you have to shove that on his resume, sure. But truly, you think about the players in that tier, and when they are shooting the basketball and you're like, oh, there's like a Kevin Durant. Again, I'm not comparing him to Kevin Durant. I'm just talking about Kevin Durant's lethal jumper because of where the release is, because of his height, because of so many other ways that he can shimmy, shake, and get there. De'Aaron Fox has that because of his speed, because of that skill set. It's just incredible that we are seeing it unfold and just take the leap that we've been wanting to see it.
There are so many amazing plays in that game from De'Aaron, but Kyrie, the spin he had, the finish he had, that you're like, what are the Kings supposed to do? That three from Kyrie where he's literally fading to his right and knocks it in. Fox answering. You just felt like these two teams were playing a playoff game. And the embrace by Kyrie and Fox after, it looked like they just got done playing like a 7-game series. Kyrie even referencing after the game like, hey, I'm taking a lot of notes of this because we may be seeing this team down the road. And man, I'm watching those two teams play. I'm like, I want this in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I want to see these two teams go toe to toe. Out of all those players out there, Kyrie, Luka, Sabonis, Fox was the best guy on Saturday night. And that shows you a lot about where he has come as a player.
Yeah. I mean, especially in a game too, when you know, like, you're going to need Sabonis to have a big game. And he finished with 22 points and 14 rebounds, right? Just another double-double. But what the fun part about this, Deuce, was even when Sabonis wasn't in because he got into foul trouble early, the adjustments that this squad made, including De'Aaron just leading and managing this team on the floor, they were like, okay, how can we go with our small ball 5 and still dominate? You had Trey Lyles go in there, and he was just feasting in the paint.
He was awesome.
And the points in the paint, I know so many people think of bigs, but a lot of that has to do with the way that De'Aaron Fox was getting in there, creating so much, not only for himself, but for his teammates as well.
Also, Terrence Davis.
Oh,
Terrence Davis played like a dog. This guy's been in and out of the rotation this year. Stretches where he doesn't play, stretches where he gets benched for some mistake out there. They needed him on Saturday night. And I don't think anyone expected he was going to do what he did. But, man, did he set the tone. Came in, making plays, obviously, offensively, where he gets going and knocks down shots. You're like, oh, this guy can get buckets anytime he wants. He had that 30-plus point game against the Nets on national TV. And in another big game, in a game that the Kings needed to win, he was huge.
Yeah.
And then he played good defense, too. 3 steals. He was outstanding.
I mean, you were talking about this Kings defense before we started talking about De'Aaron and just what they were capable of doing together. was incredible, but then you look at some of the individual play, like you were saying, we had that De'Aaron Fox steal we're talking about, but then other moments he's getting up in Luka at the end to make sure he's missing that shot. But then Terrence Davis just playing under control with his chaotic energy. I can dig that. I love when he is playing more and more under control. He had 17 points in that first half too, so he was also producing on the offensive end. Only finished with 22 points.
Doesn't matter,
right? Because he hit a big corner three. I forget if it was fourth quarter or overtime, but he had a late game big corner three for his squad, right? And on top of that, big defensive plays. His energy mattered, especially with Malik Monk not playing.
What a win it was. We'll talk more about that. Of course, the Super Bowl. We always stay live on youtube.com/Shacktown Sports 1140. It's Deuce and Mo. YouTube chat.
YouTube chat.
Yeah. The Saturday game should have been nationally televised. Incredible game. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm sure the league would have loved to do that. It's the challenge with flexing so last minute is just like your broadcast teams, everything's already production crews, the trucks, the satellite trucks are all already set up, weeks in advance. So flexing the week of when you don't know if Luka's playing, Kyrie, it's tough. I mean, I agree. Kings should be on national TV more. They should be. And the fact that they have 2 All-Stars in Salt Lake City and they've had 1 nationally televised game, I think it's ridiculous. And I think the pushback some people give is like, well, they haven't done it for long enough, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's Sacramento, small market. No, the league needs to do a better job of highlighting their stars, or you're going to be left with games where LeBron James plays the Bucks and, he's sitting on the sideline because he's not playing. And the biggest story of that game was LeBron sitting next to a young girl who freaked out because she was sitting next to LeBron. It was super cute. But
that was so cute.
I mean, that game, that Kings-Mavs game, if you're just an NBA fan and you were watching that game Saturday night,
that's it.
You would have been like, oh my God. And Luka and Kyrie are a draw. Luka's a draw. Then the NBA world would have been exposed to what De'Aaron Fox can do on a big stage.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about that a little bit with Jason Ross before coming into our show about how, so many people talk about Giannis, Jokic, night in, night out. Why can't De'Aaron Fox do it 4 quarters like them? And it's like, no, you're just seeing highlights in a stat line. Like, if they're putting De'Aaron Fox on a big stage, whether it's national television or just, more of the national narrative around him is he is a top tier player, then you're going to start hopefully feeling that same way. But at the same time, we're watching minute by minute of Kings basketball night in and night out. We're not watching, those quarters or those moments that Giannis is screwing up too, or Jokic is screwing up too. And my point to that is it's like, appreciate what you are witnessing when it comes to the greatness that you're starting to see.
YouTube chat, we're approaching 300 people watching us live on this Monday. We appreciate you. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Let's get that to 150. Also, I love the honesty in the chat.
Ooh,
I love it. Robert says, look, I get you. You are all hometown homers, but Mahomes was the dog of the weekend, not Fox. Because I put a poll question, who is your dog of the weekend? The options were Fox, Mahomes, Rihanna. And 85% of the people voted to say De'Aaron Fox. Patrick Mahomes was on one leg
in the biggest game of the season. Yeah, just incredible. Rihanna was
must-win game,
pregnant, 8,000 feet up in the air, entertaining millions of people. So
I just can't imagine being that high in the air. No. I don't care if I'm on a platform with a cord. No, I'd be shaking.
No, I would pass out. I'd be on my hands and knees and be like, I have my money.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo on Sacktown Sports.
They put 2 seconds back on the clock. Chiefs 38 and the Eagles 35. 6 seconds left in Super Bowl 57 regulation. Hurts takes the snap. The Chiefs only rushing 2 on a delay. Clock is going to be out of time, and the pass is going to be underthrown. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. Everyone who claims the Chiefs Kingdom will raise a banner above the National Football League again. For the second time in 4 seasons, the Lombardi Trophy has a red and gold reflection. A big red reflection. The Chiefs are champions of Super Bowl 57.
What an amazing display of grit, determination, as Dan and I have talked about all season long.
Yeah. I expected a little more from the Kansas City. I thought, Kansas City! You know?
That's a big reflection.
Big reflection.
Big
red
reflection?
Huge. Yeah, I obviously didn't really have a rooting interest in the Super Bowl yesterday.
No.
Just sitting back enjoying the game. It was fun to just see high scoring and all that. I'm watching it and I'm just like, maybe I'm just a little more sensitive now. I'm just feeling bad for the Eagles.
Oh, God.
I mean, you only
Really?
get so many chances to get to a Super Bowl, and you have a 10-point lead at the half. Mahomes has one good leg, and you lose the game.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts probably couldn't have played. The only thing he could have done
Dude.
better was not just fumble the ball that led to a touchdown. That hurt. But other than that, he was awesome, and you're just sitting there going, oh, can you imagine waking up this morning? Imagine being an Eagles fan who paid like $20,000 to go to the game, and
I don't feel bad for those people.
Okay, I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
We don't like them.
Yeah.
You're right. You're
Oh,
right.
that's
You're right.
cute. Oh, no, you're going to wipe your tears with your
I
$100
felt bad.
bills?
You didn't feel bad at all for Eagles players.
Yes, I did. And I always feel bad for any team that loses in these big games. I do. I mean, you should humanize it a little bit. At the same time, though, I think what overpowers that is my happiness and joy for a team that did win it. In that, what?
I'm just laughing because
What?
I was thinking when you were saying the joy for, I thought you were going to say Andy Reid. And I started thinking about Andy Reid. Sorry. And what Terry Bradshaw did. It was weird.
Did you want to?
No,
share
I
it?
was trying to see if it was there. You can continue, Morgan.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, that makes me, I feel great for the winning teams anyway. So
Oh, is that distracting you? Because I started laughing because I was reminded of something that totally messed up your
No,
point. Was
no.
that challenging for you?
No, but I think the biggest thing in this whole thing is that when you look at teams that make it to the Super Bowl anyway, it's the fans got to experience a great season.
Yeah.
So screw them anyway.
Did you find it weird when Terry Bradshaw was like, "Hey, come here, big guy, waddle on over here"?
Waddle
Andy
on
Reid.
over here.
Why is he roasting Andy Reid right
I
now?
loved it.
The guy won a Super Bowl. Hey, come on, fat ass, get your ass over here. Oh, do you need help? You're so big. Oh, like, what is he doing?
I loved it. I think he's just that. You know what? We need a little bit more authentic television. And so when people are just themselves, and especially they probably have that relationship. You're not just
I
going
hope
to tell
so.
some big old coach to waddle on over.
I really hope so. It was strange. Let's check in.
Big guy. Let me get the big guy in here.
Yeah, we get it.
Come on, waddle over here.
That was so
Waddle.
mean.
Waddle.
I will say, if they have that type of relationship, that's something you say to him,
Yeah.
not to the millions of people around the world.
Wait, don't
watching.
we like authentic conversations?
Yeah, sure. It was a little mean too, but that's fine. We get it. Andy Reid's a big guy. We get the joke. Hey, big guy. Hey, big boy. Come here.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, JR?
Hey, what's up, superstars?
What's up, RJ, JR?
Hey, look at you two.
Look at you.
Running the NorCal world with all your talents. It's well-deserved, you two. Well-deserved.
Thank you.
Appreciate you
Yes.
always for being
Yes.
there.
Yes. And on Saturday, great game. I was hanging out with the Cubes. There's nothing better than when he loses and his team goes down. He thought he got a big fish in Kyrie. And I said, that's not a big fish. All right. That's not a big fish, Cubes. You go on your way.
You were hanging out with Mark
So-
Cuban. You call him Cubes?
Yeah, Cubes.
Oh.
You're not. So you haven't watched Step Brothers? The Cubes.
Is he?
Track with me.
Wait,
Track
Yeah, he
with me,
talks about
dude.
him, that he hangs out with
Track
him.
with me. Okay.
I'm sorry. You were
Sorry.
referencing a movie from 15 years ago.
Hold on. You two had your website where you stared each other down for
Thank
like
you.
10 years.
Thank you. Deuce
Oh my
references that
God.
movie all the time.
Okay. Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. When was the last time?
Sorry. But let's talk about the halftime show not being very good.
Oh my God! What is wrong with
She-
you old people? You old
No,
people
she
don't.
needs to, She needs to be 10,000 feet higher and more pregnant.
You know what? That's a good point.
Bye bye.
Yeah, no, you know what? I didn't think about that. Why don't you do that when you're 8 months?
Yeah. Yeah.
3 months?
She looks bigger than 3 months.
Oh, woo. You're like 50 feet above? No, it was awesome.
He liked it.
And then you realize like how many good songs she has.
Well, that's what I noticed someone else saying too on our chat early on. They're like, wow, I forgot how many hits she got. And it's like, yeah, every song that you hear that is still timeless out there is probably a Rihanna song or a Beyonce song. Either or.
Only girl in the world. You sing? Do you know all of her songs?
No.
If I was like, hey, let me read off the set list, you'd be able to sing a portion from
I could do only, yeah. Like I'm the only girl in the world.
What about Where Have You Been?
Where have you been all my life? All my life. I don't have
that was bad. That one was really bad.
I don't have it.
What do you think of her starting with Bitch Better Have My Money? I like that.
Bitch better have my money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nobody knew that was going to.
I'm glad. I'm glad
it
you
was
started.
Great on Friday. Sean and Damien were talking about that. Oh, what's the first song? And that's the song. I said it's going to be that.
You said that?
Yeah, and then Sean's like, oh no, NFL. I could see the NFL not even letting her
do that one. Yeah.
Why? It's a great song.
That's fine.
I obviously know more about Rihanna than Sean.
Yeah, Sean, fake fraud fan.
Cash.
Yep.
His obsession with Rihanna is like next level.
Oh, it's real.
Yeah.
I think it's cute.
A little creepy, in a way.
No, because Sean's.
Yeah, when you get to that age, I don't think.
I disagree. If she was like,
Morgan,
if it was like Taylor Swift, I'd be like, whoa there, Turbo. Like she's like 12.
Sean's like 20 years older than her.
That's not true. No, that's not true.
Yeah, Rihanna's probably like 33. So yeah, 20.
She's 30. She's actually 34. No, I think it's about 15, 20 years at least.
How old is Rihanna?
She's 34. She's 34. You don't even have to look it up. Yeah, she's absolutely 34.
I'm going to look it up just because I don't believe you. She's 35.
No, she's not. I literally saw it yesterday.
34. Wow. Okay.
It was, and I think, look, here's my rules with halftime shows.
Oh, here we go. Deuce's rules to Super Bowl or all halftime shows?
Super Bowl halftime.
Super Bowl halftime shows.
What are the other halftime shows?
NBA halftime shows.
Yeah. I'm comparing it to like a cheer squad on the Tuesday night against the Hornets.
Okay, Red Panda's on line 1.
Yeah, so Red Panda's been slipping lately.
Do you stop
I'm just
that?
being honest. If you can keep my attention, for the whole thing, you win. You win. All of her songs were great. It was fast paced. A lot of different action. The camera angles that camera shot at the end on Diamonds when they zoom out.
Oh. My God, that was so epic.
The whole stadium shot.
It was beautiful.
And the only thing that I got scared of when they went out and they showed the stadium on the final grand finale of the fireworks, the stadium for a brief second looked like it was on fire. I'm like, was there a malfunction? It looked like the roof was on fire. Yes, it was insane. It was insane, but no, it was a great show. And I love to know what the people who didn't like it didn't like about it.
I agree.
If you're talking about the outfits, you're out of touch. It's okay. If you're like, the songs. Okay, so you don't know the songs. You're just not in tune with music. If you're one of those people like, give me U2. Is Bon Jovi not available? Bruce Springsteen? Come on, man. This is halftime. It's a party.
Here's my other thing, too. I think everyone's always like, oh, why couldn't they have a surprise guest, a surprise performance? And it's like, exactly, because she is so amazing and epic. She doesn't need a little side piece to come on and be cute and get a little pop. She's like, I'm good enough.
It was the opposite of the Coldplay halftime show where people say like, oh, when did Coldplay do that? Oh, that was Beyonce and Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Wait, all three of them were on together?
Yeah. You probably don't remember Coldplay because it's mostly Beyonce and Bruno Mars.
I cannot believe they would put all three of them together.
Well, even last year's like
Shakira and J-Lo?
That wasn't last year.
Or was that the weekend last year?
No, that was
Eminem, Dre.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't even remember.
It just that almost felt like too much. I'm cool. Like you don't need and like you just referenced with Coldplay and I don't think you need all of the people. If there's a cool collab, and she could have done one last night, she could have had Jay-Z out there. Cool, but it wasn't needed.
No,
she killed it. It was great. I loved it. I was one of the better ones I've seen.
And that's all that matters. By Deuce's rules,
This is coming from me.
all that matters is if he loved it.
I'm a dweeb.
Yes.
I'm a dweeb, and I was engaged with it.
Yeah. No,
and I was like, oh god, she's she's elite. Her catalog
She's
is
iconic.
elite. She is an icon.
Yes.
And after seeing all of her songs back to back to back in that fast pace, I'm like, oh, like she's at another level, and she deserves even more love than she gets.
Dude, really quick, because I know we are gonna have to break, but I remember when we used to do a lot more with that youth group in this community about we'd meet up with them monthly and we asked them who they thought were like living icons right now. And the older people had so many different names, but the younger people, someone said Rihanna, and they went off like about all of her music and then her beauty line and all these other things that she has done. She's like the queen of wherever she was born. I cannot remember the exact place, so I don't want to say it. But anyway,
She's
point
the
is
queen of wherever she's born.
Yeah.
No, she's definitely iconic. We'll talk more about the show.
Getting pretty loose with that word there.
Morgan's getting mad at me so much today. Why are you getting so mad?
I'm not mad. That was just, you're just making fun of me for not knowing.
Yeah, and you're not mad at me. You're mad at not remembering where she's from, and that's your redirecting your
Barbados.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Now you're happy. She smiles again. Yeah, exactly. Man, I love this weekend. Coming up next hour, we got our dog of the weekend. Who was your dog of the weekend? I'd love to hear from people in the chat. Who's your dog of the weekend? Was it De'Aaron Fox? Was it Patrick Mahomes for what he did? Rihanna, was there someone else we're missing? Maybe the Chiefs offensive line. Kings, let's talk about it. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140, and always live on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140.
That's what it was. Okay.
Back.
All this crazy stuff happened. If you would like to play a Tinkle Time song, you're more than welcome. Can I pee? Only fools hold it in, 'cause I can't help having an accident. I don't know if I hate myself or love myself. Oh my God.
Is it sometimes you forget about that and then you hear it again like, okay, nailed it?
Yeah, no, like when I heard the first 2 seconds of it, I was like, oh, good. The little Elvis twang in there, you know, but then I don't finish strong. So I have this like love-hate for it. So I need to get more Elvis-y. I don't. Hey, good looking. I don't know.
Nailed it. Perfect.
By the way, isn't Deuce kind of being a D today?
I think the open, he didn't have a good
start to the day. Yeah. Like, hi, bud. I just want to talk. This is great. I love talking when he's not in here. Like, just want to talk about, hey, Deuce. Deuce.
Morgan is in a mood today, I'll tell you that.
Oh my God.
She is in a mood.
So if you want to know the story behind Rihanna and being a queen, she's not technically a queen, but the Caribbean country of Barbados became a republic on November 29th, severing its ties to Queen Elizabeth and the crown. So the country named Rihanna a national hero, but it doesn't mean that she's the queen. She's
a queen.
Basically the queen. Yeah. Oh, yes. 100%. 1 billion%. Oh, I love Roger. We're going to get to more about the game. And yes, we're going to have to talk about that mini ball that rolled out on the floor. Oh, and the Puppy Bowl. Who else watched that? I watched a little bit of that.
It's over.
Early.
It's
There's Shiba Inus going at it.
It's not what it used to be.
Why are you saying that?
It's played out.
It's not though. Literally every time, like they have new elements to it. It's incredible.
Yeah, they're forcing like all these like sweet stories. Like, no, stop. You know what we want on the Puppy Bowl? We just want to see puppies on a field doing funny things with maybe some funny like puns. That's it. That's it. I don't need the let's talk more about this. This was a rescue and blah, 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 blah,
they're
blah.
trying to find these. It's like
I don't need to feel. I don't want to feel bad.
You
I don't want to feel
People
anything. I just want to laugh.
People are adopting them left and right. Aren't you glad that they're
and
finding?
then they're selling them on the black market.
Okay.
You too can pay for your own Puppy Bowl participant.
And Joe's right. You know, they have no rules. And like the officiating in the Puppy Bowl is sus.
No.
They have to have more rules. These dogs, they do whatever they want.
That's not true.
Okay. I'll never forget 2 years ago when I forget the dog just urinated all on the field. And you just let that dog play on.
It's a dog. Yes.
Ejection.
I mean,
I'm throwing.
You pee as much as a dog, so
Okay,
I don't know why you're talking.
Patrick Mahomes has to go to the bathroom in the middle of the game, and he just goes. He in the middle of the game on the field. What are we talking about today?
Like in his pants, though, right?
Yeah. And what are we talking about today? We're like, oh my! And
he peed himself, and he stayed out there.
No. He like makes it a point. Like everyone.
I peed on the basketball court on accident when I was in the fourth or fifth grade.
I'm glad you on
Way
accident
too old.
because for some reason in third grade there was one day after school where I've told the story before where I don't know why there was like a dare and I just peed my pants on purpose.
No,
that was a dare.
Yeah, it was
That
like
is
a fun.
so weird.
I was doing bits. I was like, yeah, let me pee my pants.
You seen the show Dave?
Yes,
They do. He does the same thing except he's an adult.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a little better.
All right.
Still bad.
Okay, so that just skipped.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo.
Sacktown Sports.
We are live. Hour number 2. Deuce, Mason, Morgan, Reagan. This is our 4th week on air.
Oh, it is?
On Sacktown Sports.
Wow. Barely made it.
Barely made it. And it's only Monday.
Oh, God.
Haven't completed the 4th week yet.
Oh,
No,
God. Oh,
you're
God.
right.
Oh, God. I'm so stressed out. But we have so much to get to. So we're talking about what went down on Saturday night. De'Aaron Fox took over. We're talking about what Patty Mahomes did yesterday in the Super Bowl. It's been a fun ride. We got our dog of the weekend coming up this hour. We want to hear from people at 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. And let's give some love on the YouTube chat to people watching us live like Clint and Todd and Ian. We got Cole, Joe, Big Lucci, who's offering to bring you some food, Uber Eats you some food.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So make sure to hit the thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe on the channel.
I don't know that person, so I'm not going to lie. I would not just take food from anyone.
Yeah, he was going to like send it via Uber Eats, but yes.
Oh,
yeah.
got it.
So-
Okay. I didn't know if he was going to pick it up
Yeah.
and bring it and be like, ha
Oh,
the sticker's broken.
Morgan,
Yep.
that Saturday night game
Oh,
was so epic.
it just,
And
yes.
I mentioned this on the pod the other night, but I got the chance to fill in on NBC Sports California with Morgan on pre and post, which was my first time doing a home game.
Mhm.
And for someone that's born and raised in Sacramento, I hate the Mavericks. So doing a Mavs game's fun, but then doing a game that's big, that matters.
Yeah.
These two teams going head to head. The Kings had a 1-game lead on them for the number 3 seed. The Kings win that game on Saturday night. Now they will be the number 3 seed, no matter what happens on Tuesday in Phoenix, the number 3 seed in the West headed into the NBA's All-Star break. That's awesome. But that game, it was the most electric Golden One Center's been. I have been to hundreds of games at Golden One Center.
Truly.
It felt like a playoff game. And being able to witness that moment with De'Aaron Fox and what went down that entire game, it was magical. There are so many big moments from the game, from Terrence Davis, even Sabonis playing hurt, fouling out. But, man, he still gave you 22 and 14. The bench was awesome.
How wild.
Kevin Huerter.
Yes. How wild going into this game. We were like, the big storyline is Luka and Kyrie, historic night, playing together for the first time ever, both in Mavs jerseys, right? Like, exciting angle. If you're an NBA fan, that's exciting no matter how you feel about them, no matter what you think about the Mavs, who cares? That is exciting. But then to be able to work a game like that, that had all the elements of just beautiful basketball on both sides for the Sacramento Kings, a team that you root for and watch night in and night out. It was like that moment being that night it felt just very fulfilling as a Kings fan. And I hope other people felt that, not only from De'Aaron's performance, but you just started talking about it from the other guys as well. Kevin Huerter, I believe, with a career high 8 rebounds. So
is that right?
I think that's what Will Z had tweeted out that night or something.
Well, and you think about that Friday night game, man, it was irritating. The rebounding, Kevin Huerter was not knocking down threes consistently, but he had 3 big ones in the second half, 2 of them late. He had 8 rebounds. He was finding other ways to contribute. That was a big-time performance by him. And I thought Terrence Davis, we all get stuck on the 22 points he had, which was amazing for him to get that hot and give some offensive production off the bench. But he had to deal with, at times, defending Luka.
Yeah.
Deal with trying to check Kyrie Irving. These aren't easy things to do, and he held his own. I thought one of the big things that they adjusted with in the second half, though, was doubling Luka, sending a double team, which can be dangerous, right? If the timing is wrong and guys aren't rotating, it could be trouble.
He was winded, and it was like they capitalized on him being a little bit more tired, obviously coming back from that injury, playing that first game, and then it even going into overtime, like he was a little winded. You could see the fatigue factor kicking in. And really quick, I just want to correct myself. Huerter, season high 8 rebounds. So yeah, it's just incredible. You think about, we're talking about the way that they blitzed Luka and the way that they rotated over. Then you have a guy like Kevin Huerter, who's just huge on the boards with those 8 boards and was doing a great job defensively. One more defensive stat from Will Z. So last night, the Mavs shot 5 of 13, 38% on field goals that Kevin Huerter was defending.
That's much better because he had played some pretty bad defense recently.
Yeah. No, and that's someone like, you're not seeing all of his shots fall down, but you and I have talked about what he's doing in the other stat lines, and then sometimes his presence of just being out there, especially on the defense end, hands in the passing lane, high IQ, love seeing it.
To me, he's one of the guys on the team that you could use the All-Star break to rest, but he's going to be in the 3-point shootout, so not a ton of rest. The Kings do have 9 days off at the All-Star break between games.
Wow.
Yeah, except for Fox and Sabonis.
Yeah, Fox, Sabonis, Keegan will be out at All-Star weekend. Fox and Sabonis playing in the game. I mean, it's going to be tiring because they're doing like all the media. Yeah. You're doing the practice, but it's not like Fox is playing 35 minutes in the All-Star game.
I mean, he might.
Well,
see how good he is.
It's still going to feel like days off, right? Even if that comes from it, sure, he's still going to feel like days off. Hopefully they have a night nurse so they can hand off the baby, All right, kid, go get milk from someone else.
Totally different.
Yeah, really? Night nurse.
You know what?
In the movie Little Big League, he gets in trouble because he's at the hotel and he watches a movie called Night Nurses from Jersey.
Oh God,
yeah.
No.
Yeah. Don't think that's going to be the case. Morgan, you guys are talking about Fox at the All-Star Game Sabonis.
Yeah.
Michael Malone is coaching the Western Conference All-Stars.
Ooh.
So you just better hope that, well, that's the thing. It's not West versus East on All-Star Game because they get picked by.
Yeah.
But if Fox and Sabonis end up on Malone's team, maybe Malone's way to get back at Sacramento, because he still holds this grudge against the Kings for firing him after a year and a half. He plays Sabonis like 38 minutes. The rest of the All-Stars are going, Coach, can I get in? No. I like what we're seeing out here.
This is all you have to do if you're Sabonis. Tell me out. Or, my thumb. Oh, ow.
Malone's like, you guys play through it. You're tough. You got this.
How would Coach Malone say Sabonis?
Sabonis. Sabonis.
And Cousins.
Marcus Cousins.
That is by far my second favorite impression that you do.
Thank you.
What's your first?
Oh, Bruce Bochy.
Well, Sabonis was my guy. I like Foxy too. Foxy, what he did, and they're not for it was amazing.
Not for.
Well, yeah.
It is still pretty good.
Well, yeah. I just like all my guys. I had the Kings, the beam is laid, and you just really like it.
I want him to come here
just for that.
Realistic.
Favorite part about Saturday night was what?
Ooh.
Kings win in overtime 133 to 128.
Mm-hmm. being able to talk to De'Aaron after the game.
That's so cheesy. I'm at the game.
Well,
my favorite part of the game was I got to talk to him because I'm on TV. That's what you're doing just now. We get it. You do pre and post game. Like, cool. You were on it with me. You got
I'm
lucky.
so sorry.
I mean,
Wait.
moment from the game, Chris? And she goes, I got to talk to De'Aaron. Is that kind of weird?
That would, if I could talk to De'Aaron.
Thank you. And it's not like I'm just saying, like, why can't I don't take these moments for granted at all. So after an epic performance by the Kings all-star, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that moment, Deuce.
All right, well, here's that moment. De'Aaron Fox post-game with Morgan.
Oh.
And I was there, too.
Okay.
Where did you find the will to push through and produce, De'Aaron?
Man, it's always just keep going. You want to be able to wear people down. Obviously, we were both on back-to-back, so you want to be able to just instill your will on a game. And I think in overtime, we did a great job of that.
De'Aaron, this was a big-time performance by you. What you did in that overtime session late in the fourth quarter, I just want to know what's going through your mind late in the game when it seemed like you just absolutely took over.
For me, it's really just continue to try to get downhill and create something. You know, if teams want to allow me to just go down and it's myself and their big one-on-one, I think my team will pick that 10 out of 10. So I just try to keep getting downhill, and until they help, I mean, I'm gonna keep shooting the ball, and that's what they tell me.
Just a big win tonight, beating another Western Conference team, a team that added another star to their squad. What does this type of win mean to you and your teammates after a game like this?
It's big for us. Obviously, we didn't make any moves. Some other teams did, and I mean, if the moves weren't there, they weren't there. But for us, I always say I work with what we got in here. What we got in our locker room is what I work with, and I'm not worried about anything outside of that. So regardless of who's in here, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go out. We're going to play hard. We're going to try to win together.
De'Aaron Fox, after that win on Saturday nights, 36 points for him. He had 12 in the fourth quarter, 14 of the Kings' 19 points in the overtime session. Unbelievable. It was great.
I could have just said De'Aaron Fox was my favorite part about Saturday night, which was a huge, big part of Saturday night and being like my favorite.
What about the ball going on the floor?
Not
in that
my
and then they had to stop the game, and then Dallas only got 3.9 on the shot clock.
Okay, few things with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times the Kings were playing good enough defense to bring the shot clock almost down to the wire and causing shot clock violations for the Mavs. On that one specifically, though, you got 3.9 left. That ball comes out on the court. They're trying to get in a flow, do something. Kyrie was pissed.
I mean, I was irritated. I was like, I'm a Mavs fan because I'm just like, what are you doing? Were you playing with the ball during a game?
An adult.
Was she just like throwing it up in the air?
No, and what I will say though is like accidents happen too, right?
Oh, the accidents happen.
Sometimes you drop a ball onto the court.
No,
sometimes
you guys.
Spill a gallon of water in your car.
There you go. Like sometimes you make mistakes.
Yeah. Okay.
And you make childish mistakes, and you don't screw a lid on, or you just drop a ball on the court. Same things. Right?
I know the ref jokingly teed her up. I would have thrown her out.
Oh,
get out of here.
For real? Can you do that?
This is the fourth quarter of a game, and you're dropping a ball. What's wrong with you?
Could they have done that in that moment?
No. I mean, I guess they could have, but that would have been messed up.
Yeah. No, that really would have ruined the whole flow of the game.
No, it was one of those games that I think we just haven't witnessed something that meaningful. Like, think about all the games Fox has played in his career in now 6 seasons in Sacramento.
Yeah.
He's had moments, and there's been, hey, how about that tip dunk in Miami? Like, there's been moments of growth. He's had bigger point totals in a game, but I'm watching that game on Saturday night. That was probably his best game as a Sacramento Kings player because he took the whole thing over. Coming up, we got to get to our dogs of the weekend. If you got your dogs, let's talk about it. We're back in 60 seconds on Sacktown Sports. YouTube chat.
I love it. YouTube chat. I was yelling at her through the TV. Okay, what's worse, though, Deuce? Dropping a ball in the court or throwing up all over yourself?
Throwing up all over you. Getting to a point where you're so drunk you go, oh, and you throw up all over yourself in your court side.
Well, that's what's wild too.
Yeah, that's worse.
I never, I always give people the benefit of the doubt. And I'm like, are they really drunk? Like, are they? And then finally, this entire last year, I've had so many drunk fans come up to me, come up to the NBC booth, and when these people are drunk, nothing matters. Nothing matters. I'm sure they want to throw up on themselves and throw a mini ball out back on the court, but instead they are doing other things.
Yeah. Gets a little intense sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Saturday night, having a good time.
I was offered a shot. I was like,
I know.
"No,
I
no
always love
thanks."
that when people like run into me and give me like, "Hey man, you want a beer?" I'm like, I mean, I would love one. I'm working. Imagine if I just show up at your office right now. Hey, what's up, man? You take this shot, man. You'd be like, what is wrong with you? I am working.
Like-
You're walking into my meeting. I'm in a conference room. You're offering me a shot? At a game, it's just, hey, let's chug this beer, Deuce.
We're all in this together.
Come here. I can't.
Hmm.
Live and local.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Watch the show now on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140 or listen for free on the Sacktown Sports app.
So many ways to get the show each and every day. If you're driving around right now, lunchtime, appreciate you listening on the radio, 1140 a.m. You can also get us on 96.1-2. Download the free Sacktown Sports app or go to the YouTube page because then you could chat with the other people who are watching this show live. That's youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140, where this station is live and local from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., starting with Dave and Jason. Then to us from 11 to 2 p.m. And then Cattles and Rami 2 to 6, live and local, literally all day long. Let's go. Morgan, you know what we like to do on Mondays?
What do we like to do?
I like to talk about some of the dogs. Are you ready for a little dog of the day?
I'm ready.
It's the dog of the day. Who had the best night in the world of sports?
Oh, Morgan, so many dog nominees this weekend on the YouTube chat. I put a poll question. Who's your dog of the weekend? The options: De'Aaron Fox, Patrick Mahomes, Rihanna. 83% of the chatters say De'Aaron Fox.
Whoa.
Who is your dog of the weekend?
My dog specifically. Well, here's the thing, you guys. I could go with all of the obvious answers, right? But that's going to be your answers. So I don't want your obvious answers. Instead, I'm going to go in this direction, and I'm going to go with Matthew Dellavedova. Why? The Kings put out a TikTok asking what these guys would bring to a Super Bowl party. Everyone's like, wings, chips, fries, something else, right? Matthew Dellavedova says avocado toast. Does that mean one toast? Does that mean multiple toasts? I don't know, but I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. No matter what, he said avocado toast and the Super Bowl together.
He didn't say avocado toast, did he? What did he say?
Avocado toast.
Yeah.
Wait, what did he say?
Avocado toast.
I'm just trying to follow you, and I appreciate you acknowledging Dellavedova.
I don't know what sounder to hit for that.
Yeah, I don't know why that makes him a dog.
Well, because I just said the other obvious dogs. De'Aaron Fox is obviously the dog.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes is the dog.
But what about bringing avocado toast to a Super Bowl party makes you a dog?
You are saying, hey, I do what I want. This is me, and you ain't going to change me. Well, that's an Australian Shepherd right there.
How did you know?
All right, I'll go to my dog.
Okay.
And look, I love De'Aaron Fox. I love what he did, and he is a great candidate for dog of the day.
Sure.
But guys, what we just witnessed last night,
there we go.
Patrick Mahomes?
Fair.
Are you kidding me? He has been starting in this league for 5 years. He's been in the league 6, but he, didn't play his first year. They had Alex Smith. Last night, he is hurt. He hurts again at halftime, limping off the bench to the bench. He is in pain. You could tell he's screaming out. He somehow got back to the locker room because the halftime shows 20 minutes. Who the hell knows what they did to that ankle? Retaped it, shot him up. I don't know what. But the reality is he came out even better in the second half. This guy was against a team that was getting after the quarterback all year. The most sacks since like the 85 Bears, and Patrick Mahomes wins another Super Bowl. He's won 2 Super Bowls. He's won 2 Super Bowl MVPs. He's 5 years in.
He's 27 years
He's
old.
won 2 MVPs.
He's in his prime.
And you play hurt like that in the biggest of games. You re-injure it in the biggest game. And you still find a way to win when you were down 10 at the half. Patrick Mahomes, congratulations. You're my dog of the weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? No, truly though. I love that. I think just to expand on what he did in that second half and being a part of all those scoring drives in that second half for the Chiefs.
The run he had?
Absolutely. Like he was like, this is all I got. And he did that same thing. Didn't he do that same thing in the AFC Championship?
He had big plays in that game, but that one was, this is after re-injuring it at halftime. It's special, man. And I think here's reality. He could retire. If he came out today and was like, I'm retiring, he would be in the Hall of Fame. What other player could you say after 5 years of playing football that they would be in the Hall of Fame today? There's no others.
You know what he would do? He would probably retire from football, then go back to baseball, become a pitcher again, and make it in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Great idea.
It is insane. It's insane. And comparing what Brady and Mahomes, everyone loves to do that already. Brady at 27 years old had a 57-14 record. He had 3 Super Bowl wins, 11-3 postseason touchdown to interception ratio, 11-3. Mahomes at 27 is 75-19 overall, 2 Super Bowl wins, and a 35-7 postseason touchdown to pick ratio. It was an iconic performance. We thought Rihanna was awesome. Patrick Mahomes was beyond special. And I think it's just like, it's hard sometimes in the moment. Sometimes we exaggerate stuff in the moment. Sometimes we undersell things. There's no underselling what happened. There's no underselling or overselling. Don't undersell what we saw last night is where I'm getting at. Yeah.
Don't know undersell. Really quick before we get to your dog of the day too, how many of you out there and you guys in here thought when that ankle got hurt in that first half toward the end of that second quarter that it was all over?
I might have said an expletive or two.
Yes.
I just like when I saw him on the bench and it looked like he's crying. It's like, oh God, no.
I felt like there was zero chance he was going to miss it though. I thought he was going to come back out and make some, and that's the thing. It's just, he's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
he's not
some
human.
of these athletes who are able to fight through pain like that. And even if he had some pain, I don't even know what they would do to an ankle. I'm not a doctor, but
good.
I mean, I don't think he's popping like 2 Advil and going, oh, I think I'm good. Like
3.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, 3. Can I go 3 this time?
It's
a little bit like there's probably some more intense
horse
things
tranquilizer in the veins. Correct.
Absolutely. And they're rewrapping it. Maybe actually a new leg. I don't know what they did.
Yeah.
But the reality is he was just special. Do you have a dog of the weekend, Chris?
I do. Mine also plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
But
as we all like, is what I like to say in here, not all dogs are good dogs.
Yes.
Sometimes they're bad dogs.
Yeah.
And this was my dog of the week talking after the Super Bowl win.
I know you're emotional. Man, one of y'all said the Chiefs were going to take it home this year. Not a single one. Feel that? Feel it? And on top of that, next time the Chiefs say something, put some respect on our name.
Why is that a bad dog?
It's a bad dog because he's calling me out personally.
Oh.
I said the Chiefs were going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I said it when the playoffs started. I said it before the playoffs started. I said it before the game, before the season even started.
Wow.
I said Kansas City is going to win the Super Bowl this season. And he's saying, nobody? I'm a nobody, Travis Kelce? Bad dog.
I love Travis Kelce so much. And like, I know people today are kind of clowning that, like, oh, then nobody believed in the Chiefs, huh? Do we need to rewind to week 1 when the city of Buffalo, I think, was already planning a Super Bowl parade? How everyone was talking about, hey, man, it's the Bills' year. They're built differently. Oh, the Chiefs, it's not happening now.
Burrowhead.
Oh, Burrowhead. Cincy's going back. Yet the guy with a high ankle sprain who re-injured it found a way to get it done yesterday. How many times did Mahomes get sacked yesterday?
How many?
0. All I heard about was they're getting after the quarterback. Let's give some love to the other dogs. The Chiefs offensive line.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Philly.
Yeah.
And maybe it was the paint on the field, right? Like everyone's slipping and stuff, but the Chiefs offensive line protected a guy that was hurt.
Absolutely.
That was some big time stuff from the Chiefs in that game. And I mean, you gotta love Patty Mahomes.
Yeah.
If you don't like Patrick Mahomes, then I don't like you.
Oh, okay.
Patrick Mahomes.
There you go, guys. I mean,
I also love his dad.
And you just think about the combo of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and those two together, just like you just look at them like two fun little characters, you know?
Yes.
Do you feel that same vibe? Thank you.
Do you want to hear Patrick Mahomes' dad?
Yeah,
post-game?
what did he say?
Because he likes doing the cigar thing, the victory cigar. This is after the game on the field.
Yes, sir. How does this? What you smoking on tonight? I'm smoking on that Philly blunt tonight. That Philly blunt. You know, just chilling out, hanging out, man. Hey, great game. It was a great game.
Take me through your emotions watching that game. How incredible was that?
Well, it's surreal, man. I mean, your son gets to realize his dream, a couple of times, and this kind of solidifies, his place and everything. So, he's going to go out there and play the game the way it's supposed to be played. I mean, the way he was taught. So, it's all good.
Was there ever a doubt? Were you worried at all?
No, when he went down, he's come up limping a little bit. I got a little concerned, but once he gave me the okay, he gave me the thumbs up. I knew he was good, so I knew we'd be okay.
Let everybody at home know who the Super Bowl champs are.
The Kansas City Chiefs, and we're going to do this thing again, so don't worry about it.
Give everybody one pop. Come on.
Oh, one time on that Philly blunt. Cuban stock cigar, that's what I'm smoking on.
He's on the Philly blunt.
That is amazing.
Smoke them if you got them. All right, we got so much more to get to. Deuce and Mo on Sacktown Sports. YouTube chat. How we doing in the chat? Peyton says if Kyle Shanahan was coaching the Chiefs last night, Mahomes probably would have died. Jason Aldean's live at Toyota Amphitheater. Deuce and Mo have teamed up with Live Nation to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to see Jason Aldean on the Highway Desperado Tour at Toyota Amphitheater September 21st.
Oh, is that my birthday? I don't. Is who's
For
Jason?
more information, visit Sacktown Sports. You don't know Jason Aldean?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know music.
Okay, Morgan is not. I don't know if it's good if you say you don't know who Jason Aldean is for this read.
I won't say that. But I mean, like, I don't know anyone except Rihanna and Beyonce.
Jason Aldean. You don't know his hit song.
Is he country?
Morgan, you make it easy.
He's a little bit country.
Is that a song of his or
He's
something?
also a little bit rock and roll.
Is that his song?
No.
Honestly, Jason Aldean's good. Seriously.
Okay.
And you don't like country, so you probably won't like him.
No.
Like, you can appreciate.
But I know how many people love country and love going to country events. So enjoy. I like basketball games and Bravo.
Make it easy. Dirt Road Anthem.
I listen to spa music at my house, so in background jazz.
Have you ever been to a country concert?
Yes.
Really?
If you consider Rascal Flatts and Taylor Swift together at Arco Arena.
I have not been to a country show.
It's different.
I have also been to a country.
What show?
Tim McGraw.
How is that?
With Faith.
Like, he's iconic, right?
I don't like country music.
Yeah.
And my mom tricked me into going when I was
Oh God.
8 or 9.
What a prank.
No, and like
it's just like, we're going to the fair. Great. I'm gonna have the time of my life. Nope, you're just gonna watch Tim McGraw.
Weren't you a big Dixie Chicks fan?
There's your trouble. There's your trouble. And
I was joking. I didn't. Is that a song?
Yeah.
The Chicks.
Yeah, now they're just the chicks.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not ready to back down. They're not ready to play nice.
I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm out of.
Hey, you two, chat. Let's get to 200 thumbs up. We are 12 away.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I love.
What?
Amy in the chat says he had 190 yards in the Super Bowl. Fox had 26 points in a quarter and some change. I love it. I love it. Kings fans, keep the energy. I like it. Hey, I'm not taking away from Fox. I'm just, Super Bowl versus Kings-Mavs in February, I'm going to go Super Bowl with a guy that was hurt. It's no disrespect. It's not a knock. And by the way, Mahomes at 182, and he didn't have the ball a ton. I mean, he was 21 of 27. He wasn't sacked. He had no picks. He also had 6 carries for 44 yards. Shout out to
Brooke,
too, I guess. I was going to say Jalen Hurts, but yeah.
Jalen Hurts, dude.
Brooke is the real MVP.
I was just showing the almonds to Brooke.
Yeah.
Dude, Jalen Hurts. I mean, dude, I don't think that's something, obviously, just talking about how football is evolving and you talk about the mobile quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that wants to argue that, I understand there's a debate, but at the end of the day, who were the 2 quarterbacks in the Super Bowl, right? Like this game just keeps evolving and pushing in this direction.
If you believe Debo, it would have been the Niners if Brock didn't get hurt. The Eagles are frauds. The Niners sounded really bad this week leading up to the Super Bowl. Robbie Gould's like, you just got to make Jalen Hurts into a quarterback. Well, I don't even know what that means anymore.
Yeah.
Like a quarterback, if you can make plays with your feet, you're still a quarterback. It doesn't make you less of a quarterback. It makes you a different style of quarterback.
There you go.
Hey, how many times the Eagles, you're like, 4th and short, 3rd and, they pick up the 4th down every time on a quarterback sneak. Have we ever seen a quarterback do that? Like, easy.
Well, they were talking about, have you guys seen Jalen Hurts and his squat? Like, this guy is just pure muscle. And so watching him push through people, obviously with the help of teammates, but still being able to hold his ground, his base, and just be like, ah! Just like that. I love people are talking country music now, breaking it down.
Yeah, I get Clint. I get that the Niners are salty, but like, move on. Stand by. We got an update, but then back to us.
Sacktown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sacktown Sports headlines. Last night, the Kansas City Chiefs came back from a 10-point deficit to beat the Eagles 38-35 to win the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes was named the Super Bowl MVP. He was 21 of 27, throwing for 182 yards, rushing for 44, and throwing 3 touchdowns. Mahomes becomes the first player since Huerter to win the regular season MVP and Super Bowl MVP in the same season. He also becomes only the 3rd player ever to win 2 league MVPs and 2 Super Bowl MVPs, along with Tom Brady and Joe Montana. Sacramento Kings split their weekend games with the Dallas Mavericks, losing Friday night 122-114. But they won in overtime Saturday 133-128, where Luka Doncic returned from injury. Kings are off tonight. They'll be back in action tomorrow in Phoenix when they take on the Suns. You can listen to the game right here on Sacktown Sports. And now more of Deuce and Mo.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo on Sacktown Sports.
Sometimes in the social media era, I don't know when people are trolling or if they're like really busting out hot takes, because it's both, right? Like people joke around a lot on social media and they also have so many hot takes.
If you see something from me that's a hot take, I'm joking.
Okay.
Hot takes.
Well, Jay in the chat, because we were talking about Mahomes and oh my God, what a performance. He's hurt. I'm battling back. He says defensive touchdown, a punt return to the 5, 2 open touchdown passes. He was carried. Okay, what we're not doing today is trying to take away from Mahomes. Yeah, I know in a team sport, he got help. Oh my God, we should take credit away because a team helped each other win a game. And you're right.
Kelsey was too open.
Kelsey's what?
Great point.
Come on.
Great point.
No, and they Andy Reid, his play call, they all step up in a big way. It is a team game, but he still has to make plays. He made plays. He didn't make mistakes, and he was playing hurt. And I know so much last night was like, I can't believe that game ended that way. The holding call. I think now after hearing the Eagles talk about it, I don't feel as bad about it because they weren't complaining about it. They understand that there are other plays that changed this game. That punt return was massive. I mean, it was a terrible punt. Mm-hmm. They get it within the 5, and then boom, they score a touchdown. The Chiefs take the lead after that, 35-27. And that's...
You put Patrick Mahomes closer and closer to the end zone,
Yeah, good night.
Exactly. Good things are going to happen for him. He knows how to create, dominate, execute, however you want to put it. So that's where you can rely on him. And we know it's a team sport, but at the same time, if you don't have the person with the ball being able to create at a high level, at a championship level, you're not going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and Bradbury, after the game, the guy who was called for the hold, talked about it.
I mean, that's not up for my judgment. You know, I was hoping he would let it go, but of course, you know, he's a ref. It's a big game, and it was a hold, so they called it.
The guy who actually did the hold, he was flagged for it. He's like, yeah, it was a hold. Now, should they have called it? I think that's a big debate. It looked minimal to me. To me, it looked like something that happens a lot during a game.
Yep.
I don't feel like he messed up the route that much or anything.
And I feel like in postseason football, there are so many more calls that are just let go because it's physical. It's on a different level, and everyone has that mindset going into it. But at the same time, you're just going to get different officials, different officiating crews that call the game what is deemed a hold.
Also, they would have kicked the field goal. If they make it, I guess nothing's a gimme. They're still up 38-35. The Eagles just have more time on the clock.
Absolutely.
So,
and there's some pictures that have come out where you can actually see him pulling the jersey because you couldn't really see that in the replay. And there are a lot of people like, hey, any game you see the jersey get pulled that much, they're going to call it.
Yeah.
Let's hear what Jason Kelsey had to say about it.
You know, I don't know. I'm not going to get into whether they got it right or wrong. I think they called it, and that's the way this goes. I've said this before. I'm never going to be somebody that puts a blame or anything on officials. It's a hard job. They make a call. It is what it is. And, you know, there were multiple other moments in that game to take care of business. And, you know, I think that, you know, we were close, and we could have won that game without the officials without that call being a determining factor.
For some reason, Jason Kelsey, who's 35, sounds like he's Andy Reid.
Correct.
He sounded I thought we played the wrong thing. I thought that was Andy Reid. Andy Reid's like 60-something. Why does Jason Kelsey sound so old?
I don't know. But he does look kind of old, too. Like,
he does.
Compared to his brother.
No, he does. He looks like he's 30 years older than his brother, and the age difference isn't that. And then you listen to his brother after a game, and it's like his brother has cut promos and stuff. It's wild. Nick Sirianni, who, man, he was emotional before the game. But then that one play where they thought they were going back after the review when the no catch thing happened. And he's pointing like, no, get back. Come on. And then Jalen Hurts moves his arm down like, hey, settle it down, coach, a little bit. But after the game, he wasn't even complaining about the call.
You know, I'm not, it's not my job to, you know, I mean, you'll see me on the sideline. I'm going to argue with different things of calls here and there, but it's not my job to make the call. You know, those guys got to do that in split second, you know, scenarios. And so, you know, that's what he saw and he called it. And so that's never it. I know it always appears to be that, you know, it's one call that makes the. That's not what it is, right? It's not what it is. There's so many plays that contribute to the end result of the game, and today they were better than we were.
All right, question.
Yeah,
we've heard three members of the Eagles: the coach, one of their leaders, and Kelsey, and the guy who committed the holding, Bradbury, say, "Yeah, you know, it's not for me to say." Blah blah blah. You know, there's other plays. Do we believe them? Do we believe they truly feel that way? Or do you think right now they'd be like, yeah, that was a horse crap call?
No, I
believe them.
I believe them.
Okay.
I'm with you. I think it's like when a foul is a foul in the NBA, you know, whatever's deemed a foul by the rule book, it's a foul, even though it's a physical game. In this game too, we have different standards when it comes to a postseason. I think you had told me before the show, like Richard Sherman really didn't like the call, you know, and I think he had that same opinion in the NFC Championship game as well.
A defensive back did not like the call, just to be clear.
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally doesn't make sense at all. But truly, I think when these guys go back and look at it, they go, I understand why that is, you know, deemed a hold, but at the same time, why do we have to go there?
I think just as fans watching the game, even if you're not from Philly, like you just felt robbed in the moment because it was such an exciting finish. You want to see how it played out, and then you want to see maybe the Eagles have one last chance with Jalen Hurts, who was awesome. And I think that's the other thing that should be talked about more today, of course. Hey, everyone's celebrating the Chiefs and Mahomes. Where does he rank all time? Jalen Hurts, for some reason, still, I feel like had his doubters headed into this game.
Yeah.
And he wasn't great against San Francisco's defense. The Niners did a great job containing him.
This game, though,
he was awesome.
He was.
He was really good in this game. And I think it's cool to see him start to get a little more recognition for what he accomplished. I think so many people are trying to take away from these players.
Yes.
His second career game with 300 passing yards, 50 rushing yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. No other player has ever even done that once. That's pretty crazy. He finished 27-38, over 300 yards. He had a touchdown pass, 70 yards rushing, and 3 touchdowns. He was awesome. He had the one fumble that cost him, but
yeah, and I'm so happy for right. He's never going to forget about that fumble, but I'm so happy for him that like in his Super Bowl debut that he played this way. He stepped up to the moment because when they took on the Niners, it was like, oh, this is what's going to go to the Super Bowl. This isn't going to be fun against the Chiefs. They weren't killing. They looked like they were dominating the Chiefs, though, in that first half with the way that they were playing football on both sides. So then for Jalen Hurts to have a really solid game in his Super Bowl debut, I'm excited for his future.
that field was a joke, though. We got so much more to talk about on the show. Kings and stuff and Super Bowl 2.
Hey.
I don't know what that was, too.
And now we're levitating up like Rihanna?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Deuce and Mo on Sacktown Sports. Oh, hey, what's up, YouTube chat? 200 thumbs up. We reached it. Thank you so much for the 200 thumbs up. Appreciate you guys being here. Helps the channel grow so much.
Appreciate you guys.
How many people think took off today?
Yeah, I always think the day after this, it's so, you think about holidays. I do think either Super Bowl needs to be on Saturday or, national holiday on a Monday.
Is school off this week for President's Week? Or is that
schools.
okay? And because I saw some kids on my street walking and I'm like, what? Hey, why aren't you in school, kid?
So you're the person out the window just peering out.
Hey, what's going on in my neighborhood? What are the kids? Get back to class.
There's no school, Miss Reagan. I said get back to class.
There's a library over there. Go there.
Have you heard of reading a book? Huh? So stupid.
I just can't believe we were talking about during the game the field condition at a Super Bowl where before I saw it in the morning, I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like they spent 2 years growing this grass and they take it outside in Arizona and it grows. And then during the Super Bowl, not a preseason game, an exhibition at a new stadium, during the Super Bowl, we're talking about players slipping. Like you had players going, it was like a water park. When they had the shot during the game,
it was like a water park.
It was like a water park. They had the shot during the game of the stacks, piles of cleats.
Yep. And then you see Jalen Hurts with like white cleats on. And then in the second half, he has the black cleats on and they're explaining on the broadcast. Yeah, because the spike is just much longer and can actually stick into the field because all the guys are complaining about slipping. And I'm like, so we don't want them to play unsafe on turf. Then you build this grass for 2 years and then you overpaint it. Morons.
Thank God no one got hurt.
Like
really seriously, though.
But it was really bad. And honestly, I don't know for sure. But if you're on the Eagles and you're like, we've gone after the quarterback all year long and we can't get to the quarterback. Did the field have anything to do with that too? Just trying to, you're slipping a little bit.
Yeah.
Trying to get on a pass rush, trying to get to Mahomes. I don't know.
It's just, it's a disadvantage for both squads. But at the same time, it's like, why NFL? Like, stop getting cute with your stupid paint then.
Joe says they reversed the script and gave it to the Chiefs. Yeah, you know the big social media thing that NFL is scripted?
Oh, okay, yeah.
What if we found out, like let's just say it was scripted, okay? And that we find out today, like, oh, Mahomes wasn't really hurt. Like, that was all part of the script. And, like, there's, like, video of him, like, jogging on the beach today. He's on vacation. Like, if you found out that it was fake and that whole thing was staged, would you be pissed or would it be like, well, it's like wrestling now?
Well, I
would be mad because it should have been better.
Yeah.
Well, then my
You're
question
right.
is too, when did you guys find out that wrestling was fake?
It's not fake.
I know, but you know what I mean.
Predetermined?
Deuce, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but when people say it's fake, it
okay, I'm
irritates
sorry.
me.
And
It's not fake.
You know how. Don't.
Deuce and Mo on Sacktown Sports.
During the break on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140, we were joking about the field condition during the game. It's just insane that the NFL apparently spent $800,000 on this field. This wasn't like Arizona Cardinals field during the year and they just like painted on top.
Yeah.
No, this was specifically grown for the Super Bowl. It took 2 years.
2 years.
Perfect, right? Perfect. They add some paint to it, and guys are slipping left and right. It's insane. Reading some of the quotes, Morgan, from this game, it wasn't just Eagles players complaining because they were asked about it after the game. And Jordan Mailata, after the game, was asked about it. Here's how he described the field conditions.
Yeah, what was your experience?
But again, the Kansas City Chiefs have to play on it too. So, and to be fair, they kind of said it was terrible too, like in the TV timeout. So I was glad we're on the same page.
What made it terrible?
Man, I'm not a grass expert.
No, just from your
it's just
perspective, what
slick.
made it hard?
You couldn't anchor. So you have to get your whole foot in the ground. If you try and use your toe, just your toe, you'd slip right away. I mean, you saw the receivers. It was like a water park out there. They're playing on grass.
It was like a water park out there. And then from the Chiefs side, Frank Clark said the field was kind of terrible. We've had this problem in Arizona before. A lot of these stadiums try to do new tactics with the grass. They try to do new things. I've been playing football since I was 7. The best grass is the grass that's naturally there. Like, why are we trying all these different things? And then paint, it was bad. And then Hassan Reddick, who obviously one of the premier pass rushers in the game this year, says, if you look at the film, everybody slipped on both sides. I'm not going to sit here and use it as an excuse or complain about it. It was evident, though. If you see the tape, it's on there. I mean, the fact that he was just describing, like, I can't put my toe in because I slip.
If you didn't put your cleat in the right way, like think about it, you're not practicing all year long to be like, okay, when we get to that Super Bowl grass, though, we're going to have to make sure that we go heel, toe. That's what you do on the catwalk, too, for all those models out there. Like, there's a certain step to it. Not for football players when they're focused on just crushing somebody.
Imagine if this happened in basketball. The equivalent would be like, hey, there's ice underneath and it's seeping through the court and guys are slipping. And this happened in an NBA Finals game. We would be talking wall to wall about the NBA failing here. No one's talking about this today.
Why?
It should be a bigger story. I'm sorry. When you have a team like the Eagles who could get after the quarterback, and I'm giving the Chiefs offensive line love too. They had to deal with the same thing, but like they didn't have a sack. Receivers are slipping everywhere. That's embarrassing for the NFL on the biggest stage, the Super Bowl, to have field conditions where the Eagles, I think at one point, they had their training equipment guys going and taking shoes from fans to try it on their players.
Really?
Will this work?
Is that what happened?
We're trying different things at this point. They didn't know what to do.
Chris?
Okay. It was a force, and I'm sorry. The point I was trying to make was like they were replacing cleats. They were running out of. They had a pile of cleats.
The image was surprising.
I thought it was a shoe donation. Morgan, I didn't know what was happening. There were shoes just piled up. It was mountains of shoes,
The NFL just does something to do.
It was really bad.
Old, stupid joke.
Seriously, don't you think it's a bigger story? It should be a bigger story.
100. I don't know why it's not. And also, Deuce, you talk about that being a bigger story. There's a few stories within the NFL this year that I'm like, shouldn't that be a bigger story?
Oh, yeah.
Even the DeMar Hamlin thing, like, we're going, here's everyone that saved him after having a heart attack by playing our game. Yeah, but we saved him. And I'm just like, oh, my God.
Distract.
Yes. Different angle. What? How can we push this the other way?
Oh, we'll pay for 45 people who saved him to be at the game. And we'll bring them on. Obviously, it's super cool that those people deserve all the love.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad DeMar Hamlin got the love, too, for like, dude, he went through a lot. He literally almost died on a football field.
Yeah.
But you're right, the NFL, like, positioning it like, no.
How
great
heroes.
that he died on the football field, but he's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, like, for the field, that's the one thing with football fields I don't get.
What?
it's either they play on like on a field like yesterday where they're slipping everywhere, or they're playing on this turf that every NFL player is like, I hate playing on turf. It hurts. I'm disposed to more injuries, torn ligaments, Achilles tears. But NFL teams are like, yeah, but it's just cheaper to do it this way. It's like, bro, this is $1 billion industry we're talking about.
You're paying these players millions of dollars.
Right.
Don't you want them not to be hurt?
Right. It makes zero sense. Yeah, you think about all the money that they're putting into players, but at the same time, their contracts, for the most part, aren't protected after they screw over these players.
Also, let's talk about like the NBA used to have problems with courts in Boston, right? There used to be dead spots. That was in the 1960s.
Oh,
okay. This was in the 1960s where they're like the Celtics knew where the dead spots were on the court. That doesn't happen in 2023. Take care of your players, take care of the field. In the biggest game of the year, we should not be talking about the field being slippery. If we want it to be like that, then you play the Super Bowl in winter conditions, right? Like outside where it's it's the weather. If the whole point of playing in these warm weather areas, these controlled environments, is so the game is played without like weather disadvantages, then it can't be because the field, you're not prepared for that. At least when you know the weather is bad, you're prepared for everything. It's like, okay, I already have the right cleats on. I'm ready to go.
Hey, since we're crapping on everything right now, one more thing I want to crap on.
Oh, let's crap on the NFL.
Thank you. How about that broadcast last night? Oh my God, it was not sharp enough for my liking. It is the Super Bowl. It should be elite of elite.
Yeah, you're talking about the production and stuff, right? I thought the announcers were fine. I thought Burkhart and Olsen, look,
they were fine. They were not sharp at first.
They were nervous at first, but I mean, it's the Super. It's their first time doing it.
They're like, oh, everything's a little different here.
I do agree with you. Like some of like the replays that coming out, I'm like, this is not a good replay. What? Yeah.
It was bad. They didn't have some good camera shots. They, again, have all the money in the world to make good camera shots. Just didn't understand it. Erin Andrews' hair, by far one of my favorites. And God, she just gets better and better every year too at her job. So
well, we're talking about the game. We're talking about the Kings too coming up. The Kings with probably their biggest win of the season on Saturday. Let's check in with Jamie. Oh, this is Jamie. You were just talking about kids being out of school this week. Jamie, are you ditching class right now, or are you out this week?
No, I'm out this week.
Okay.
Jamie would never ditch.
I'm only out for today and tomorrow.
All right. Well, Jamie, you're I know I mess this up all the time. You're 12 or 13?
13.
I thought of you yesterday because I was watching the Super Bowl commercials, and you had mentioned the other night when you called into us about Prime Energy, and I saw the Logan Paul Prime Energy or Prime Sports Drink or whatever it is.
Drink.
Yeah. Anyway, what's up, dude?
What's up? How'd you guys like the halftime performance?
Great.
Loved it. Do you like Rihanna?
Oh yeah, I it was all right according to myself. It was like just all right. I've seen better.
I agree.
I think last year's was one of my favorites.
Did Jamie just said it was all right according to myself?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I like it. He was like, he's like, in my opinion.
I'm gonna start doing that.
According to myself, I like it.
According to myself, I believe.
So you liked last year better.
Why was it just all right? What was wrong with it? I want to know what was wrong with it through a 13-year-old.
I just wasn't really locked into it. I just really wasn't locked into it.
Yeah, but you kids aren't locked into anything.
Okay, why you gotta crap on his opinion?
It's true. They're on TikTok. If their attention's not captured in 0.5 seconds, it's not good to them. They're all over the place.
So to be fair, you have said that if you didn't like the performance last night, you're either too old or too young.
Yes, and that you're yes. Yes, you're either way too old and out of touch. Yeah, I don't know. This is too much.
I mean, last year I was on TikTok during the halftime performance, but that they made me get off TikTok and watch it.
Ooh.
So you don't like Rihanna? Okay, okay. Who would have been the better person to have? You want Logan Paul out there or something doing backflips? I don't know. Pranks.
No, his music's terrible.
He has music?
Yes. I mean, come on. He's a
we're definitely playing some.
He made a diss track on Antonio Brown.
Classic. Of course, you know this. What else did you have, man?
Nothing much. I'm excited to see how the Kings play tomorrow against Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they respond too. Last game before the All-Star break. They get 9 days off after that. And we should mention another big game. The Suns are 2 games behind the Kings. This is good. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. The Suns are playing well, but you got to remember too, they have won 7 of 10, but last couple of games have been shorthanded, right? Post trade, they don't have Bridges anymore. Durant is still out, so it's a good opportunity for the Kings. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for checking in, man.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye, Jamie. God, I love Jamie.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Deuce and Mo. How are you doing today?
We're so good. Did you like the halftime show?
I don't know. I think Rihanna was reaching down her crotch.
What? What, Nick?
Reaching down her crotch. Disgusting.
No.
That's what she was doing.
No, she wasn't. When would she do that? Morgan's on the floor laughing her ass off. Okay. Nick, I think she was rubbing her belly at one time because she's pregnant. Like it was like, I'm announcing my pregnancy.
There's a little human inside her body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What else?
I do want to say, tomorrow's our last game against Phoenix. Tomorrow we play Phoenix. It's our last game, but it's going to be a little tough. But if I was in Phoenix at the locker room, what am I going to be telling my team? Get on your man. Stay on your man and play defense.
I thought you had something else too for your team because you've said that a lot, and your team's like, "Okay, coach, I need something else." What's the one other thing that you're going to tell your team?
To go to make the layups. Go to the basket. Make the layups.
Okay.
And
it's what you got to work on.
Okay, and just to be clear, we are getting some people in the chat saying Rihanna did do that during the show. I reached down. Still cool.
Yeah.
Still awesome show. Nick didn't like it. Nick is apparently just not edgy, huh?
She did do that. But
okay. It's not gross, Nick. Nick, you call into our show with your shirt off and food all over your face. That's gross. Yeah. All right, Nick. We'll talk to you soon.
I do want to say, go Kings. Light the beam tomorrow.
All right.
Go Kings. I can't believe he didn't say, if I was coach, I would tell them to play defense and don't grab your crotch.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. That's a great way to cap off hour number 2.
Wow.
Coming up, final hour. We got to talk about what we witnessed Saturday night. I want to hear from the people. What did that game tell you about De'Aaron Fox? Do you think Kings-Mavs could be a first-round matchup? You can hit us up in the YouTube chat, youtube.com/SacktownSports1140. Also, on the phone, call us. Let's hear your voice like Nick and Jamie, 1-800-920-1140. It's Deuce and Mo on Sacktown Sports. Tinkle Town.
Looking out on the tinkle time. I used to have to pee. 'Cause you make me pee. 'Cause you make me pee. 'Cause you make me pee like a natural. Hey, Deuce, you want to hear this one? I don't have all the lyrics, but I know you want to tinkle, but you just refuse to hold it in, baby. But I know you don't want no accident. I didn't have the rest of the words, but do you like where I'm going with that one?
Definitely like that one.
Thank you. I'll figure out the
It's
lyrics.
almost there.
Yeah. Like when you're in your car, it's hard to think of 7 different P songs, That call had me floored, literally.
Literally. You were literally ROFL.
What's that? Lee says I'm dying. Oh, you guys like that one? Okay, cool. All right. Sweet. Oh, would you like some almonds? Smokehouse.
I'm sorry, people who do all the weird flavors, and no disrespect.
You're
Blue Diamonds
disrespecting.
I was happy to see them on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Blue Diamonds, shout out, headquarters
Sacramento.
in Sacramento.
My grandma worked there for over 30 years.
Wow. Good
What'd
for
she
your
do?
grandma.
Sorted the almonds.
With her hands?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Wait, do they wear gloves?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just think back when your grandma worked there.
I
They probably
taste
didn't.
old lady hands right now.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But like blueberry almonds.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
Trying too hard.
Um,
Like, It's like when the NBA keeps telling teams to make another jersey. And there just comes a point where it's like unnecessary. That's not your brand. You know?
I was a fan of the habanero.
Dude, I finished off. The rest.
B. Perry in the chat says that Fox needs a fourth quarter signature celebration.
Ooh.
What would that be? I do like signature celebrations. Like LeBron's got like the chest.
What if De'Aaron just puts on the crown, even though that's kind of LeBron's too? Because LeBron can't have all of them.
What if it's like Wayne's World when they do the Foxy song and he goes,
oh.
So he just throws down that jam and then he looks at everybody.
We
so
do need
cool.
more. Like football does a good job of celebrating touchdowns now.
Yeah.
We don't have many good ones in basketball.
You know, it's a fast-paced game. You got to kind of get up and go, though.
But for a big shot, I want let's stop for a second and celebrate. But then again, you're worried about losing, huh?
Yeah, if you have that moment and then you don't win it. But sometimes when it's just like pure raw emotions, that's when let it happen. Let it happen.
Smokehouse money.
Money.
What do you want to talk about, huh?
Well, I do want to talk about Kevin Huerter. Someone else at West Sac Kings fan said, Kevin Huerter. Yeah, Kevin Huerter. Let's talk about Keegan. Obviously we hit on Monk being out and what the bench was. I feel like we could hit a little bit more on Trey Lyles, though. I thought he just did a great job in the paint. Really understanding.
You give Fox more love.
And then when we break down what the Mavs look like, with both those guys and then not having Tim Hardaway Jr. in the second half. Oh, and Christian Wood. My God.
You have to do that. Sorry. You have to do that giveaway as well.
Have to do that what?
Giveaway.
Oh, yes. Oh,
caller number 6.
I love this artist, so this is perfect. Yeah.
Sacktown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sacktown Sports headlines. Last night, the Kansas City Chiefs came back from a 10-point deficit to beat the Eagles 38-35 to win the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes was named Super Bowl MVP. He was 21 of 27 for 182 yards, rushed for 44, throwing 3 touchdowns. Mahomes becomes the first player since Kurt Warner to win the regular season MVP and Super Bowl MVP in the same season. He also becomes only the 3rd player ever to win 2 league MVPs and 2 Super Bowl MVPs, along with Tom Brady and Joe Montana. The Sacramento Kings split their weekend games with the Dallas Mavericks, losing Friday night 122-114. But they won in overtime on Saturday, 133-128, where Luka Doncic returned from his injury. Kings are out tonight. They'll be back in Phoenix tomorrow to take on the Suns. You can listen to the game right here on Sacktown Sports. And now more of Deuce and Mo.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo.
Sacktown Sports.
Fox at the left elbow, hesitation in the paint, 2 defenders there. Reaches around, scoops, scores! Magical play by De'Aaron Fox. He's got a dozen. Score is tied at 90. Sabonis has the rebound. They head to Fox. Sets up the alley-oop. Terrence Davis flying in from the right wing, soaring above the iron and majestically hammering it down. He's 7 for 7.
What an insane game at Gold One Center Saturday nights. Kings with a massive overtime win. De'Aaron Fox, dog, 36 points, a season high, but 26 of those came in the fourth quarter and in overtime. TD, that alley-oop jam, he was a monster with 22 points, winning the defensive player of the game, and the Kings, most importantly, getting the W in front of a sold out enthusiastic crowd at Golden One Center. It was massive. They are off until tomorrow when they're in the Valley of the Sun with a little showdown against the Phoenix Suns before the All-Star break. What's up? I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. We are live Monday through Friday from 11 to 2 p.m. Pacific time. If you're watching us on YouTube, we appreciate you. YouTube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140. Hit that thumbs up.
Hey, thanks.
Oh, Morgan.
Yeah.
It's been a fun show. I do want to award the people listening something.
What? Oh, what you gonna do?
Well, if you're caller number 6 right now.
Caller number 6?
Yeah, caller 6. So it says on the sheet.
Oh, got it.
6 probably for 6 man. The fans were awesome at Golden One Center.
Love it.
You will win tickets, a pair of tickets to see Jason Aldean. Yeah, we've teamed up with Live Nation to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to see Jason Aldean on his Highway Desperado tour at Toyota Amphitheater on September 21st. For more information, you can check it out, sacktownsports.com. It's got a ton of content and all the listener giveaways and all that stuff. So we're looking for caller number 6 right now. Congratulations. Morgan, you're a big country music fan.
Oh, man, the biggest out there. You just can't stop me singing country songs.
You know who I hate?
Who?
The people who go to country shows, but they're not like real country fans, but they dress. They got a belt buckle, cowboy
I feel
hat,
like if you're
cowboy.
going to a country show, you're a country fan.
No, but you don't. I feel like when you dress like that, you should dress like that all the time. Like you're either a cowboy, you're country, or you're not.
Yeah.
Don't show up like, hey, I'm going to dress up like that.
It's so cute to wear cowboy boots and a cowboy hat, so now I'm going to act like I know all the times.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
There we go.
All right, let's talk more about what happened on Saturday night in Sacramento. We were at the game, and I've never heard Golden One Center more hype than that game. And it felt like a playoff game. To me, it was a sneak preview of what could lie ahead. These two teams, the Kings and Mavs, could be facing off in the playoffs. You never know what's going to happen. But I was so curious to see how the Kings were going to respond after what happened on Friday night when they had that 45-point quarter that they gave up. Plus, you got Kyrie and Luka back in the fold. We'll talk about how they looked and how that team could look. But I thought for Sacramento, they came out and responded the right way. I think they came out with the right focus, the right intensity.
Yes.
It was just a really strong performance.
Deuce, the point of emphasis had to be like, hey, you guys really screwed it over on that first quarter on Friday night. You have an opportunity to make up for that and come out strong in this first quarter. And that's exactly what they did on Saturday night. And what I love too, you guys, we have to remember their game against the Mavs on Friday night was their first game against this team this season, right? So then you got to kind of get a feel for what they are, what they were good at, what they didn't do, whatever, right? So Saturday night, they came in and they seemed much more prepared, much more locked in, ready to go. Obviously, when you look back at that Friday night, the Mavs were making what seemed to be like every single three. But at the same time, the Kings made their life much harder from three on the Saturday night.
I think what's wild about Saturday night was the fact that the Mavs still knocked down 23s. The Kings only knocked down 8. And that's the one subplot before the All-Star break. The Kings are not knocking down threes at the same rate at all. In fact, I think over the last 8 games, they're averaging right around 9 made threes a game. That would be the fewest in the NBA. And it's just bizarre for a team that has been so good at shooting the three. You think about this team, you got Keegan, you got Kevin Huerter, Terrence Davis can knock down some shots. Of course, Malik Monk, who has not shot the ball well from 3 this year, but you just expect them to hit more. What I did like, though, is they went, you know what? We're going to attack the paint. Sabonis has a size advantage. We believe we can score on this Dallas defense. We're not going to be afraid of finishing inside. The Kings did a great job of that. I loved how they played. And then the Fox numbers continue to just blow me away. You know, De'Aaron Fox has taken such a serious leap this year. It's insane. And I know the 3-point numbers aren't where you want them to be at like 32%, but he is more efficient than he has ever been in his career. I saw some interesting numbers from NBA.com today.
Yeah.
They ranked the Kings 8th in their power rankings. They note that Fox has a career best marks for field goal percentage in the paint, 61% in the paint for De'Aaron Fox. His free throw percentage at 79.5%. Plus, the last 3 games, double-digit free throw attempts for De'Aaron Fox.
I love to see it. That means 1, he's being aggressive and going to the hole. But 2, I also think he's getting the calls that he finally deserves.
Oh, yeah. Well, the league, the officials got the word. Oh, he's officially an all-star now. He's officially in the game. All right. He officially gets the all-star calls now.
They do a different whistle going into the Kings games now.
A couple other notes.
Yeah.
He is 27 for 40, 68% in the paint, and 33 for 38 from the line over the last 3 games. He shot 38 free throws in the last 3 games at 87% for a guy who has not been a good free throw shooter in his career, a 73% shooter really in his career at the line. For him to get there more and then late in the game in the overtime session go 8 of 8 from the line, knocking down key free throws. That was big time stuff. It was huge to see. Also, one other stat I'm going to throw out. You have points in the paint for De'Aaron Fox in overtime, 3 of 4.
Wow. I love what he was producing. I do want to say, too, with the free throws, it is pretty incredible. You think about how this team was shooting in the beginning of this season from 3. They were super efficient, a lot of threes, everything. And then from the free throw line, it seemed like they were missing some shots. We've seen so much improvement with all of their free throws, starting with De'Aaron Fox, obviously just being able to knock those down so consistently. And then their threes haven't been as strong. I know that could be a little bit of a concern, but it seems like they're still capable of winning games even without those threes.
You put up 133 points.
With only 8 threes.
8 threes.
Yeah.
You get outscored 60 to 24 from 3, and you win the game?
Pretty incredible.
Being aggressive in the paint. That's knocking down free throws. That's big time stuff.
And speaking of being aggressive in the paint, someone I wanted to mention a little bit more was Trey Lyles, because him coming off the bench, obviously we knew we needed to see him produce. He finished with 14 points. He went to the free throw 3 times, was 3 for 3, 6 rebounds. But Trey Lyles, what he did such a great job of it was recognizing when he had a smaller dude on him, right? And that's when he would just feast. He would go to work and try to make life a little bit easier in the paint. He had an offensive rebound and went up back strong. I believe it was an and 1 for him. And so I love when this King squad can go to their bench, put in a guy like Trey Lyles, and he understands what he needs to produce for this team.
And he got the call. Final 90 seconds of overtime. Sabonis fouls out.
Yeah.
They went small ball with Lyles, and I loved it. I really like the fact that Brown went to him. We talked about this before. Use Lyles more at small ball 5 in lineups, because
it screws with teams.
It does. His ability to stretch the floor. He can put the ball on the floor. He can rebound. He's tough. I like him. And obviously, it's not going to work against every team, but I think it can work against some, especially a team like the Dallas Mavericks. And Lyles was significant off the bench. Terrence Davis, dude, I look at what he has been through this year.
Yeah.
And we always talk about, hey, guys, you got to be professional. You have to stay engaged. And you just never know when your time's going to come. It is so easy to say that. It is so easy to say that. It's another thing to really have a good attitude and do that. And I think one area that this coaching staff really likes about Terrence Davis is, although he can make mistakes and he does some things defensively, like, what are you doing? They get frustrated. He is so receptive and he's so coachable. He takes it to heart and he is ready to go. What impressed you with Terrence Davis on Saturday night?
The most impressive thing was his ability to keep going. And what I mean by that, you guys, you have a player that stays ready. Sure, we've seen him stay ready and get his minutes off the bench, but he's staying ready and getting 32 minutes off the bench, and is not like he's playing night in and night out in this NBA game shape all the time. And it was like, hey, you got to step up and just be ready. You could see how tired he was at the end. I mean, all these guys were tired at the end. De'Aaron Fox, you saw toward the end of this game as well. Sabonis, all of these guys. But Terrence Davis not having that conditioning right now with the amount that he has not been playing, just incredible that he pushed through those moments and was like, okay, I got to be here for my guys.
Yeah, and he has had stretches this season where he's just not playing. I mean, he had a night where he was inactive. And in the month of going back to January 13th, January 13th through the end of the month, there were only 3 games he played at the end of the month out of like 10.
See?
And so it's not, and then, it's not like he's playing big time minutes. There's games he's playing 12 minutes, 15 minutes, 9 minutes. The other night he plays 32 minutes. And it's not just because Malik Monk's out. It's because he was being so impactful. He's being aggressive. The best version of TD. Yeah, he's knocking down shots, but he's staying locked in defensively. And he did against tough matchups. And that's where Mike Brown just loves his ability to stay ready.
Yes.
It's not, and that every player on this team, Rashawn Holmes, dude, they've gone to him in that Lakers game, the road game when Sabonis was out. He goes, all right, I'll give you 16 and 11. What? So I've just really admired these players staying engaged and locked in, ready to go.
You know what I think it is too, Deuce? I think when you really look at the standards that Mike Brown sets for this squad, and we've talked about the culture and everything else that Mike Brown does. But truly, the standard is everyone respects him and the game too much to let up, to not stay disciplined and stay ready. Oh, he doesn't want me shooting the ball 100 times, even though I haven't gone into play and I want to get like trigger happy. I'm going to listen and do what I need to do because he's trying to put me in my best position to not only succeed as an individual, but to help this team succeed as well.
We got to talk more about this game. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the radio side. Deuce and Mo, always live on Sacktown Sports' YouTube page, youtube.com/SacktownSports1140. Hey, YouTube.
Hey, YouTube.
Best version of TD to me is when he's getting steals and deflections and locking it on D. Yeah, and he had 6 deflections. Is it tinkle time for Morgan? Water time. She plays.
Tinkle time.
Adrian would like us to know he's taking a dump and started to tune in. Love y'all. Thank you, Adrian. Appreciate you watching us on the toilet. Someone in the chat, who was that mentioning John Wall? I just don't. Where is John Wall playing? John Wall hasn't been good when he's played. And Davion, Monk handles the ball a lot. What Davion brings defensively, I want that guy playing. I do. And obviously, if he can knock down shots, his minutes would go up. And that's the challenge, is he's just not knocking down shots. So I just don't look at that as a need. Like people mentioning him. I heard someone mention Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly can't play. He's not good anymore. He doesn't shoot well, and his defense is not legit. His defense hasn't been legit for 4 years. I just don't know how that helps you. The Clippers had a desperate need for point guard. They wanted John Wall to be successful there. He just hasn't been. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. He's been through a lot in his career with injuries, and it sucks. He's just not the same guy.
Live and local.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Watch the show now on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140 or listen for free on the Sacktown Sports app.
Oh, appreciate everyone on the YouTube feed, youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140. That page is approaching 6,000 subs now, huh?
Oh.
She almost cussed. She almost dropped an F-bomb.
No, I was just going to say something else, and I was like, why I say that?
Hit the thumbs up button if you're there too. Make sure to subscribe. Hitting the thumbs up just helps the channel continue to grow, so people know that literally we have shows like 12 hours a day that are live and local on Sacktown Sports. It's pretty amazing.
I kind of need to know what that word was.
It wasn't going to be a word. It was going to be funny how that works, though. Huh?
Okay.
Like, why? Yeah, exactly.
I actually like it.
More a little swagger you got there.
I was a little too far for me. I'm sorry.
So we got the first chance to see Luka and Kyrie together on Saturday night in that Kings win. Luka had 19 points in the first half.
Ugh.
Got a little, I'm tired. I'm a little tired.
Just coming off a heel contusion.
Heavy legs.
I'm being dead serious about Luka.
Let's not fat shame.
I think Luka, he's 23 years old and he's great. He is great.
Correct?
No argument.
He can be at another level, and he's going to learn. He's going to learn. Once he feels the real postseason disappointment, it could be this year. It could be when, let's say, in the first round of the playoffs, he gets eliminated by the Kings in 5 games.
Oh, Deuce.
Inject that in my vein.
And then he's going to have to do some soul searching and realize he's got to be in better condition. You're right. Coming off a heel injury, being out, he's not going to be 100%. No doubt. He was clearly tired in that game. And I think long-term, that's something to look at. But before we dive into that Luka part, I want to get your thoughts, just what you saw from Luka and Kyrie together.
Yeah, it was, I was scared. I was nervous just knowing two elite offensive players playing together. Didn't know what type of magic we were going to experience with those two. Look, 28 and 27 points, 28 for Irving, 27 for Luka. And it was better than I thought it was going to be. I was also expecting a lot of just not knowing what to do with the ball offensively, right? I was expecting Luka to still stop the ball. The night before, we saw how quick the ball was moving around without Luka in there. So what was that going to look like on the next night? I think the coaches probably told Luka, like, look, we got to keep this style of basketball. Look how good things were working. We got the W and things go well. And I think he understood that and took it upon himself to still be moving the basketball around.
I mean, I think these guys are going to have as much trouble as people believe.
Yeah.
Together, one, Kyrie's played with other guys, right? Like,
yeah,
Luka needs the help. I think he wants the help. I think Luka wants someone he believes is at his level. I think the other thing is these are two players who have exceptionally high basketball IQ. They are very smart offensive players. They know how to get shots. They know how to create for others. They're incredible passers.
Yes.
Kyrie's ability to finish inside the paint and then be able to hit from outside, hitting shots fading to his right. The guy's insane. Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, I was shocked because both those guys, 9 rebounds for Luka, 7 for Irving. So on top of everything else, these are 2 guys that are flying in there trying to keep plays alive, trying to get second chance opportunities, ending a defensive possession. Just, incredible night from both.
The Mavs, long term, my feelings for this trade are probably going to be different. And I don't know that's going to work because I think they need more around these guys.
Sure.
And their defense together is the problem. Like, can they defend at a good enough level to go out and win a championship? Because they made this move thinking, oh, they're going to win a championship. Like, we're going to contend for one. They're not there. I'm also okay with that because I watched that game and I know it's a couple of games against the Kings or whatever, but like Josh Green, how big was he?
Yeah. Oh my. Goodness.
He's in his 3rd year and you could tell he may benefit most from playing with Luka and with Kyrie. His minutes are going up and he does all the things you want. When you play with those guys, you know who you need? You need guys that are going to cut. You need guys who are going to be active and move. This guy was knocking down threes. You're going to need to knock down open shots. You're needing to move without the ball. He was doing that, finishing at the rim. He's tough. That's a huge pickup for them. And I know he's been there, but my point is like his role being elevated and playing with those guys, he's a really good player that's coming into his own.
He's one of 4 guys on that Mavericks roster that played 40 plus minutes, right? So they understand what his value is and what he was capable of doing. You can shove him in a corner and he'll be that spot up shooter. And it seemed like just such a strong, efficient shot. But then also you just talked about it, the way that he could drive it in and go in so aggressively. Just another guy that can create on the offensive end. Green was really fun to watch. 5 of 8 from 3-point line. Obviously, you saw the way that this team was shooting the night before. It was a little nerve-wracking when those shots were going in, but Tim Hardaway Jr. was a guy that left that game early, which was nice to see for the Kings.
Yeah. It was an injury, so I don't know how nice it's to see. Are you happy
for the
someone
Kings,
gets
I
hurt?
said.
You think the Kings are like, yeah, he got hurt?
No, but
okay.
I'm saying I was talking about from a 3-point standpoint. My God, no, Deuce.
I'm just twisting your words right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they can work. The other thing that I thought they did, I think it's smart they're playing more JaVale McGee. McGee was not playing a lot for them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just they feel like they're in a better position to play him now. He's a lob threat. He's very good at just getting his long arms and being able to tip a ball out, create second chance opportunities.
He'll make his mistakes still, how many people now define him as like the Shaqtin' a Fool guy, and like he'll still have those moments, but I think he's so much more composed of a player, so much more mature, that he knows a little bit more of what his role is. And what's fun to see, Deuce, I see you looking over at the TV. I know ESPN is breaking down the Kings and the Mavs game from Saturday night. Luka and Kyrie, that's their topic. Not talking about the Kings win.
And they're showing right now is one play where Fox doubled and TD's help was a hair late closing out on Kyrie. And they're showing like, see, if you double, this is what can happen. It's true. I'm just thinking it's funny that they're breaking this Kings-Mavs game down, not breaking, and he missed the shot. But the Kings doubled Luka in this game and had success doubling Luka in this game, late in the game. And showing more of that, I think, is important, I don't know, than just showing, hey, look at the attention. It's like, yeah, but what about when it does go well? There's teams in the playoffs who can't do this. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like for sure.
We'll see what they actually said too. We'll have to break down ESPN's tape later on and see what they were saying about Luka and Kyrie. But either way, Deuce, yeah, it was a game too where you saw JaVale McGee as a big in there doing a good job. But also I want to get to Christian Wood, another guy who, when he gets hot, both games, when he gets hot, it gets scary. He's just able.
No, it's great when he gets hot.
Because then he gets cold really quick.
Because he thinks he can, he has to shoot it every time. You want it. And the Friday night game was misleading because he got some shots. You're going, oh man, he did some nice things. No, the Kings miscues gave him opportunities. One of the threes he hit was a second chance three because Keon Ellis and Davion Mitchell leaked out. No one secured the rebound. Bullock got it and dished it out to a wide open three. Another play, pick and roll situation. This is my film breakdown from Friday night.
I love this.
Pick and roll situation. McKinley Wright has the ball. Mitchell and Sabonis ice the pick and roll, meaning force it sideline. And McKinley Wright makes a great pass. Christian Wood is wide open, like on just a pick and pop. That can't happen.
So bad.
Another play, pick and roll. Jaden Hardy, top of the key with Christian Wood. Little pick and roll action. No one picks up Christian Wood rolling to the basket.
Miscommunication.
I'm not saying you need to do those things, but if the Kings were just a little more locked in, it would be better. And he's just one of those guys that gets hot sometimes, and then and that's why he doesn't play a lot, because kid gets frustrated watching him. It's like he starts knocking down shot. He looks at himself out there and he's like, I'm Kevin Durant. You know?
That's true. He doesn't.
Luka loves him though. Luka apparently loves him, but they're only playing him like 12 minutes because he falls into these traps and doesn't play team basketball enough.
Got to stay under control. He played 18 minutes in this one.
All right, we'll talk more coming up next. We got so much more. We only have like 40 minutes left. It's over.
Yeah, and then it's over.
And then Cal's and Rami. It's Deuce and Mo on Sacktown Sports.
Adrian says, I feel like when teams go pick and roll against the Kings, the corner is always wide open. You know, their pick and roll defense hasn't been good enough at all. And I think when you look at their team, they do okay at times in a team defense, but they don't have a whole bunch of elite high IQ defenders that just understand what to do in certain situations, that know how to like go, oh God, let's think outside of the box. And
so much of it's positioning on the floor because they're going to have to help. And they are so worried now about the paint, right? Because they've been getting destroyed in the paint this year.
Yeah.
That the help comes over in the paint. They don't have these rim protectors, so they're trying to prevent the action at the rim. But you have to be able to react and close out appropriately on the corner three. It's tough.
It is. It is.
Especially when you're talking about like really talented players in the pick and roll and teams that have shooting everywhere. It's like damned if you don't, damned if you do.
If you're a player in the NBA, like you should want to be coached by someone like Mike Brown, because obviously a defensive minded coach. Yes. But just like the standards he sets, all those things, you're going to become a better player. And I just think about this group of players and how like they didn't make any moves at the trade deadline. And all these players are going to become better, even as individuals together, even if they don't see some minutes on the floor, just at practice with what this squad is about.
Are we at 250 thumbs up yet, Morgan?
We're at 229.
Are you kidding?
Hey, it's a Monday. You know, sometimes people are a little slow at smashing that thumbs up, baby.
Hit the thumbs up. Do you think Fox should do more pick and roll? Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Kings are starting to run more pick and roll. Sabonis' assistant numbers have gone down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the Kings have adjusted some things, but also the Kings aren't knocking down as many threes right now. So your assist numbers will go down. Morgan, do you have a thumbs up song? It says sing a thumbs up song. I thought you had one.
Yeah, no, it's I'm trying to remember what
I thought it was to the tune of
which one?
I'm not ready to thumbs up.
No, it wasn't that one.
I got it way down.
Wasn't that one?
of a Rude Boy. I thought it was a Rude Boy.
Yeah, I think it was that one. How does that go? Okay. Come on, thumbs up, 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 let it boy. Come on, thumbs. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No. Maybe it wasn't
Does
to
it have
that.
that
Maybe it was,
Mo, je ne sais quoi?
Oh,
maybe it was
je ne sais quoi.
to All of the Lights.
All of the thumbs, turn up the thumbs up, baby.
There you go.
Oh, why don't you push the thumbs up button? Why don't you push the thumbs up button? No.
We want all of the thumbs. Dun, 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 dun.
All of the thumbs, all of the thumbs.
It's the thumbs up, baby. All of the thumbs. Maybe it was Umbrella.
Oh, under my thumbbrella.
Yeah, I like that one.
Oh, Chris Watkins, good point. All of the likes.
Oh,
Like the
thank you,
thumbs
Chris
up.
Watkins.
All of the likes, and then you had something about the thumbs up.
Extra thumbs, so don't you want to see this? All of the likes.
Wait, maybe it was to Where Have You Been?
All of the and if anyone can't tell, I've lost my
All
voice.
of the thumbs in my life. I can't sing. I say I'm the
You
guy.
sound better than me today. I can't. I'm forcing.
It wasn't the Diamonds, the thumbs up song.
How does that go?
And that only got us 4 more thumbs up. We suck today. Stand by.
Sacktown Sports
Headlines. It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo on Sacktown Sports.
Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan. Appreciate everyone watching us on YouTube today as we approach 250 thumbs up. It just helps the channel grow so much, and I love it. During the break on the YouTube feed, Morgan was doing thumb-related songs to the tune of Rihanna songs after last night's halftime show.
Definitely not good. It just shows that Rihanna is the GOAT, and I will never try to sing any of her songs
You
ever
didn't do
again.
bad.
It was
It was
pretty
improv.
bad.
I'm giving you say, hey, do this. Do thumbs up to Diamonds. That's not easy to do.
I should be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a little too hard on yourself. A
No,
little too
Deuce,
hard on yourself.
I don't even believe that coming from you.
Did
Own it, honey.
Own it, honey. Did De'Aaron Fox take another step last night, or on Saturday night, or is this just De'Aaron Fox?
Deuce.
Yes.
We came into this Monday show still riding this high of Saturday night's game, not even the Super Bowl, because it was what it was. It's exciting, whatever. Riding the high of Saturday, mostly because of De'Aaron Fox. And for people that don't want to believe that this was one of those games, there's going to be people out there today that go, isn't that a little dramatic? No. What you witness on Saturday with De'Aaron Fox, it's the real deal. It is that top tier stuff. It is exactly what you're talking about.
I like how many times on this show we have to stop ourselves from cussing.
Top tier stuff.
Because on the podcast, we're like, that was amazing. Oh, can you effing believe that? I didn't realize it would happen this much on this, but because
I know.
and on TV it never happens because you're just like you've got a mic it's not positioned for any like you're not wearing a headset. It just feels different.
And
You're
it's
holding
short.
it. Yeah, it's short. Boom, boom, boom. Where a podcast, you're just and then on this, you're same way. You're kind of in a relaxed environment.
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just me, you, and Chris. And I think about all the words we use together.
And
It is not pretty.
Just know that if it does happen, Chris has a dump
Dump
button
button.
that he might not hit on time, and then we lose our jobs.
Well,
I
right.
think I would lose my job before you guys lost your
No.
But Chris, don't you think in 2023 you should be able on
Great question.
radio and TV to drop an occasional like S-bomb?
Yeah.
Because like you're allowed to say ass and damn, right? So like even with that and FCC rules and everything, it's just like, oh, why don't we just talk how we all talk in our everyday life?
But they don't police like the FCC is like, I'm not worried about the internet, podcast, anything like that.
I'll tell you this. This is a while back. I was right when podcasts started happening. I was driving my dad around. I was listening to a podcast, and he was just like shocked. And he's just like, they're able to say this on the radio? And I'm like, I'm not listening to the radio. I'm listening to the podcast. Then it became like, what's a podcast? No, it's recorded.
Yep.
How did you record it? No, it's already on your phone.
No.
That's amazing. But yeah, I going back to what we were saying about Saturday night and for De'Aaron Fox, he took a leap. He absolutely did. And I don't think that's dramatic at all.
It's just fun to see. It's fun to see how he has grown over the years. And I think when you get a max deal too, naturally there's just more pressure on you. There's pressure on you. You maybe put on yourself because this team just gave you this big contract.
Sure.
And you feel like you're the guy. And 5 years in, you haven't made the playoffs. In fact, you're no real closer to the playoffs than you have been. You had the 39-win season. Then last season was just dreadful for him. But at the end of the season, when he came out, I was like, I need more structure. I have to be better, blah, blah, blah. Some people are like, yeah, whatever, Fox. They don't believe in it. And he has had flashes over the years where you go, this guy can do this. This year, it's all come together. And you're trying to figure out, okay, why is it? Well, it's one, I think he's held himself accountable.
Correct.
I really do think his partner, his wife, who played basketball too, has grounded him, and like they have a great partnership.
Eye on the prize.
They help each other out.
Yeah.
The coaching staff, Mike Brown, his relationship with Luke Loudest, like he wants it. And I think it's all those factors coming together. Plus, he's really talented. You're seeing him become more of a two-way threat, and being able to take over a game late is a skill. This isn't a situation where the guy's just knocking down, he got hot and he hit some threes. He literally has the ball in his hands. Everybody in the stadium knows what he wants to do. The coaches, players, everything. They know what he wants to. He gets to his spots and he's hitting daggers. The fact that in transition late in the game, a Euro step finish, he's pulling that off in a close game.
Deuce, it's incredible that I think there was one time coming down where he missed his shot that he was getting every single time down. And it was like, oh, okay, now you can see it. He's feeling a little tired. That's okay. And then he fought through that moment to still create incredible possessions and incredible moments. And I'm so happy to see him take this leap, but you're exactly right. All those things factor in. I think one other thing we have to factor in too is this Kings organization bettering that roster, Deuce, because allowing there to be even more threats around allows the defense, the opponents that they go up against, to not just have to worry about him getting into the paint, right? I know he's taken that to another level, but still it allows way, way less worries. What? Really?
Some breaking Kings news at this hour. You can read it at sacktownsports.com. Frankie Cardicelli with this, Morgan.
What's he
the
got?
Kings are sending 4 of their 5 starters to All-Star Weekend. You've got Fox and Sabonis in the game, Keegan in the Rising Stars game, and it's official. Kevin Huerter has been invited to the three-point contest.
Yeah!
Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all.
Can he make some threes? Can this get him going? He did hit 3 in the win against Dallas the other night. I thought Huerter had a really good game against Dallas, but can this get him going?
This was something you and I talked about off air, and I was like, this could be one of those moments where it just builds that confidence that he needs, as a 3-point shooter. And especially, man, when you get to do a competition like this, I know there's pressure on you. The whole point, everyone's looking at you shooting the ball. But when you're just a pure shooter, this is easy. This is easier, at least. And I think for him, this will not only be such a fun, great experience, and it validates everything that he's been doing, not only here, but throughout his career as a shooter in this league. I am so happy for him, and I'm so happy for the Kings.
According to Frankie Cardicelli at Sacktown Sports, he writes that
Frankie Cascarelli.
Yes, Cascarelli, I believe, has drilled 139 three-pointers this season, just 21 short of his career high. By the way, he's still shooting a career high from three. Other people in the three-point contest include Dame Lillard, his teammate Anthony Simons, and Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield, plus Lauri Markkanen. I don't understand this. This is the best we can do. Why do we have to have two Blazers and two Kings in it? If you're going to do that, then do the teammate thing. Like, Keegan Murray's shooting 41.7% from three. He's a rookie. He's at the game. Put him in the game, you cowards, in the contest, you cowards.
Oh, Deuce just gave you a double cowards.
There's not a Kings fan out there that wants to see both Tyrese and Hield in the three-point contest.
Dang.
I'm being serious.
That's so messed up. I mean, good for Tyrese.
No.
Yes, congratulations.
You know, I used to feel I was the guy who defended Buddy a little bit.
I know,
for the fans.
dude.
Like, come on, man. He did some great things. But now I'm like, you know what?
He doesn't give a damn about Sacramento.
He doesn't.
No,
he
doesn't.
You know what I'm going to say? He never did.
He never. Thank you.
He never did.
He
wanted
this.
his money. He wanted his money.
Yes.
He wanted the limelight and all that. But when he was not getting his contract extension at first, he was crapping on Sacramento. And he was ready to leave, wanted to go to LA. He goes to India. Now he's taking shots left and right. It's annoying. Where Tyrese was like hurt by it.
Yeah.
Tyrese needed
I don't know. It's just, and not to say like every single player needs to be like totally depressed by getting traded or whatever, but like have some pride in the city you're in, especially if the city is treating you well. Yeah, that's
lately he just hasn't been very oozy.
Yeah.
You're right about
not
that.
Not oozy at all.
We got closing time coming up. Deuce and Mo, it's Sacktown Sports. If Kevin beats Buddy, he should go up to him and say, light the beam. Yeah, I agree.
That's a great point. Ugh, God, when Buddy said that and the Pacers were walking, their digital team was like walking back with him after they beat the Kings, and he's like, light the beam, light the beam. And
Question, Morgan.
What?
You've said only wins for the beam.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if Kevin Huerter wins the three-point contest.
Yeah.
Come on. Thank you. Even this guy is saying that.
All right.
Yeah, get out of here with it. Hey, you stop that. Dude, that was the other thing too. So usually when the Kings get a win, obviously the beam is lit and everything. At the NBC Sports desk, we put up this awesome 3D printed mini Golden One Center thing with a beam.
Yeah, Dave Lack.
Amazing job.
He made us one too.
Yeah, no, we got to grab that. But then there's usually a player that's brought up to the set. And Deuce was so excited. Like, we get an encore interview, and then Deuce was like, oh, I'm so excited to interview a player in person too. This will be fun if we get the win and that happens. It's like the first game that they're like, sorry, we're not going to be bringing a player up there. It was really sad. You were fine.
I think part of it.
Yeah.
Too much star power.
Oh. So stupid.
It's a lot.
It's a lot because
to
you're
have
up.
Me with an NBA player.
Oh, got it. I would have just totally
you
crapped the bed.
You would turn on the TV. Sabonis is up there with you guys, and you're like, "Whoa, this is weird. Why is Sabonis interviewing Deuce on TV?"
Sabonis just takes his tie really quick. So, Deuce, what was it like?
No, I do think there's some nerves when you like. It's not easy to play a game and be like, "Hey, you have to go up." Oh, who am I with? Morgan and Deuce Mason. They're going up. It's just a little intimidating.
Yeah.
It is. It's not. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with an example that you would understand. Like, more. Okay, here. Great example. Morgan. If you're like, hey, someone calling you like, hey, Oprah wants you on her show. That's so. How do these players feel when they Deuce?
You're comparing yourself to Oprah.
He didn't say Oprah. He said it's
like. It's like that.
So remember how we were just talking about tiers in the NBA and where like De'Aaron Fox is and where like Giannis and Jokic and
I'm tier 1.
No,
Yes, I am tier 1.
So Oprah is tier 1.
Mark Maron, Oprah, Deuce.
No.
Who am I missing?
No. Don't say anything stupid, Chris.
Who would be who is Deuce in the NBA world?
Maybe like pre-pandemic, pre-election Joe Rogan. Like
he's bad.
No, so you get why they'd be nervous.
Yeah.
But at least we got to talk to Fogg. You were so bummed about Lyles not coming up. I was like, dude, we got De'Aaron Fox after he just had the best game of his career.
No, it was epic, like I've said 700 times, but truly so cool talking to him. He's just his presence before games and everything. It's I know so many people go, oh, it's changed so much over sure, but he's also like grown right in front of our eyes. And that's what I think people just always forget, from 19 years old to now.
Great question from Aaron in the chat.
What?
Red Velvet to the 3-point contest. Let's go. When was the last time 80% of our starting 5 was in all-star events? Man, I think, was it Hito? No, Hito was in something for the Kings. I think he was
dunk
back
contest.
in the day. No, they used to do like this shootout thing. All-star weekend. I think they did something with WNBA players and a legend. You guys don't remember that?
Yeah, it's like a legend, a player, and a WNBA player.
Yeah. Hito, was it with Tisha he did?
What happened to that?
They should bring it back, honestly.
Like, I want to say it was almost like a skills competition.
Yeah, no. So the year he did it, let's see. It was Hito, Tisha. The picture's cut off.
So cool.
Oh, and Zarunas Marshallonis.
So
former
cool.
King. It looks like a celebrity too.
Oh,
I don't know who it was, but
Kevin Hart.
So the Hito, they probably had a few there. Then they had a year where Gerald Wallace did the dunk contest and probably had a couple all-stars, but that's not a starter. You're right. So 4/5 of your starting lineup. That's a different question. Yeah. That's legit, dude.
Where's Will Z?
Shooting stars. That's what it was. The shooting stars.
It's Deuce and Mo on your local sports leader.
Sacktown Sports.
Oh, what a Monday. What a Monday it has been. It's going to continue on 2 to 6 p.m. right here in Sacktown Sports. Cattles and Rami have everything covered with the Chiefs-Eagles game and what De'Aaron Fox did Saturday night against the Mavericks, plus what lies ahead for the Kings. Kings and Suns Tuesday night. Big Western Conference showdown. Another legit test for the Kings before the break.
Do we have any idea when Kevin Durant will be back playing again with the Suns?
Post All-Star break.
Okay.
It seems. Who knows?
Okay.
But, we thought the same thing with Zion. We'll get to that in a little bit, too. Let's check in with our guy, James. What's up, James?
Deuce and Mo.
What's up? We're great.
Awesome. I love the energy and I love the show. So nice to have local programming on again.
Thank you. I love that you love it.
Right on. Hey, quick question for you about the game setup for the post game Saturday night. They flipped the desk around, so no more fans back behind y'all. Is that going to be permanent like that?
It will probably be permanent, but that's why we have the fan cam still, to make sure to get like all of our rollouts, all of our bumps to break and everything. We always put the fans on there.
Yeah, a lot of questions about that. That happened. Yeah. They started that on Friday night. And I think the big reason is it's gotten a little chaotic back there this year. And it's not the majority of people are great.
Yeah.
Right. It's just there's obviously, people are hanging out, having a good time, drinking. Sometimes you just have people who are just angry or whatever, and it just gets a little aggressive. And I think really it became a security thing where it's like, hey, what can we do? All right, let's move it this way. Let's still show the fans who are there to watch and show off their signs.
Yeah.
Let's make this a little safer.
When it gets to the point that it's like actually dangerous for the talent is when it's like, okay, we got to make some adjustments. And so, just some safety issues and everything else was like, this is probably the best way to go about it. And it's been great for me these last 2 games. I've definitely loved it because then I still get to be around everyone, all the fans that are over there, and then we get some of the shots of them.
I think the other thing I would want is like, I would love for the fans to still kind of be behind a little bit, Make it like college game day. Be on a platform a little bit and have more so you could still see the fans, but they're not like right there. I've heard mixed things, right? I've heard some fans go, I love it. It was super distracting with some people behind there doing weird things. You saw some idiot with an Andrew Tate shirt on a couple weeks ago. I'm like, ugh, you're the real G. You're so cool. And like, but then you do miss out on some of the cute things. Like, there's kids with cool stuff. Yeah. So
but
you got to strike the balance.
Right on. Hey, question. I don't know if you guys covered. I've been in and out of the vehicle. Wondering about what you guys thought about the timeout at the end of the game.
Yeah. I can't remember if we ended up hitting on that or not. I appreciate you checking in, man. Thanks so much, James. Fox, end of the game, right? They did not call a timeout. We did hit on that earlier.
Yeah.
The Kings at the end of the fourth quarter do not take a timeout. Fox gets the ball, and the Kings did have a timeout.
Yep.
Fox goes for a 3-point shot for the win. Of course, they just need to score a basket.
They just need to score a basket, which would have been great if you just went downhill and obviously got even to the free throw line. But at the same time, that double was thrown at him with about 2 seconds left when he was navigating the floor. And so then he's like, all right, I got to put something up. It's still surprisingly, Deuce, was still a good look for De'Aaron. It looked like it was going in, but yes.
I thought that was going in.
I definitely, just the nitpick, would have loved if he had just taken it in, but it's hard to turn on the Jets too.
I don't think it's a nitpick. You don't need a 3 in that situation. And I think had the Kings lost the game.
Yeah.
And it was like overtime. I know we're playing a what if game and this is a little extreme, but let's just say Fox doesn't go off in overtime and it's just kind of you lose in overtime.
Yeah.
I think we're talking about the end of the fourth quarter today. I think we're talking about Fox in a tie game elected to shoot a 3 instead of taking it to the rim or going mid-range, which is not necessarily easy anyway. Because
double, dude.
Sure. But I'm just saying. But he took over in overtime. It was a magical performance. It's one of the marquee performances of his career, probably near the top, in my opinion. He scored 44 at a game at Dallas last year. They lost the game. And it was late in the year. It's like, whatever. Luka didn't play. This was a big game. Going back and forth with a team that just beat you Friday night, that if they win the game, they are tied with you in the West. In fact, because of the tiebreaker, they're ahead of you, and then you drop. And then people are questioning, like, oh, do they have it? Did the Kings make the right moves? Or they didn't make enough moves at the deadline? Blah, blah, blah. They won a big game. And your best player, with all that talent on the floor, Hall of Fame talent on the floor, was the best player in the game, and he got his. De'Aaron Fox went to another level on Saturday night. He went to a level where, he's an all-star. No, that was a guy taking over. And this is not like a one-time deal. He has taken over in the fourth quarters of games, but doing it like he did in overtime and the fourth quarter, magical.
Stage was huge. Everyone wanted to see, what are Luka and Kyrie going to be like? Everyone tuning in on their league pass, even if they weren't in Sacramento. It was one of those games that was like historic night, but it ended up being one of those historic nights for De'Aaron Fox and his career.
I think it's time for closing time.
Closing time. It's closing time. But before we go, we have to give you a last call.
Yeah. All right, Morgan Reagan, what was your favorite part of the Super Bowl?
My favorite part of the Super Bowl, 2 things. I could easily say Rihanna. I know not everyone feels that same way, but I would say Patrick Mahomes playing through an injury. I think when you see any player that great grimacing like he was on the sideline and then find a way to be a part of all the second half of that game, those scoring plays, and just be the reason why they are Super Bowl champs, it's just incredible.
It was amazing. It was just a great performance. He got help along the way too. You need everyone to help out to win a Super Bowl. You need your defense.
Yep.
You need your special teams. And there were plays that they made, and some of it was lucky. Jalen Hurts fumbling the ball like that, score a touchdown. Okay, a little lucky, whatever.
Yeah.
That punt return was epic. Mahomes, definitely my favorite part. And I just want to say the quarterback play.
That's a great point.
2 young quarterbacks making history in that game, and they both played incredible football.
Mobile quarterbacks.
Jalen Hurts just making plays left and right. It was probably the best. When you have one of the best games of your career, and it's at that level.
Yeah.
That's big time stuff. And I was just really impressed with that. It was fun to see 2 teams. I wish it didn't end the way it did. I wish Jalen Hurts got one more opportunity, the holding call that, hey, the Eagles, they weren't complaining about. Everyone else seemed to complain. If they don't call that, they get another shot at it. But Dude, Jalen Hurts is legit.
And at least we got a close game. I mean, the way that the Eagles were winning in that first half, and then the second half, the Chiefs just turning it up.
We find out Zion Williamson officially out beyond the All-Star break after aggravating that hamstring injury. How concerned are you about Zion's status going forward? He's played 29 games this year, 114 games in 4 NBA seasons.
Yeah, it's not looking too good, right? We know what he's capable of, a freak when he is playing, when healthy. But at the same time, Deuce, you're looking at another injury of, he's a big guy, right? No matter if he's in good shape or even in some of his worst shape, he's a big guy, and these injuries are just going to linger. They're not going to be okay, and you've seen it now over his career, the way that they've been lingering.
Yeah, I just hope he can get healthy, because the guy, when he plays, is a magical player. Yeah, dude, to see someone at his size do what he does is crazy. Hey, Derek Carr turned down a trade to the Saints. He had a no-trade clause, so the Raiders are going to be forced to cut him. Raiders are going to get nothing for Derek Carr. How do you love Derek Carr's pettiness? He says, nah, you're not trading me.
Oh, I love it. That's exactly it, Chris. I love drama. I love the pettiness. Screw them, right? Do what you got to do. Here's the thing, players, your organizations, your teams really don't care about you at the end of the day. Make sure that you're taking all their money and doing exactly what you need to do.
Also, you have a no trade clause for a reason.
Yep.
Screw it. Hey, you know what I would love?
What?
Just go sign with the Saints now.
Oh, yeah. No.
See, that's the petty I want. The pettiness I want is, yeah, we talked to the Saints. I don't want to trade there. And then you sign with them. First team all petty. I'm here for it.
I'll take it. That's the story I want to talk about.
Appreciate everyone for being here with us today. Back tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time. Coming up next, it's Cattles and Rami. You can watch the show, youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140. We love you guys, but we got to go.
See ya.